From Pearl River High School, Crescent City Sports is proud to bring you Louisiana high school football once again this year. We get the season started with a great matchup here tonight as the St. Martin Saints have made the trip to St. Tammany Parish to take on the Pearl River Rebels. Hi again, everybody. Lenny Van Gilder, along with Wade Kaiser and our production crew, Chip Merritt producing, hitting all the buttons this evening. Matt Merritt bringing you all of the pictures. Wade, it's opening night, and that is everything in the high school football community. You've been through a number of them as an analyst now. You were through a lot of them as a coach. You went through them as a player. When I say opening night, that means
it's football time, and it doesn't matter what's happening with the weather. Let's play football, and everybody's excited about it. Pearl River's going to have a great crowd here tonight. St. Martin's is going to bring a nice crowd. They're going to weather the storm, and we're going to see some good football here tonight.
Yeah, look, have we had rain? We've had rain for 3 days in the New Orleans area. Actually, we got here to Pearl River, it wasn't raining. It started raining about 90 minutes ago, and it's been kind of steady off and on since. Yeah, but it's all good. What are we going to see tonight? Well, we're going to see a great running back matchup, and of course, we start with St. Martin's and the guy who is the LSU commit, the number one ranked running back in America and number one ranked prospect in Louisiana for the class of 2025, and that's Harlan Berry.
Well, he's outstanding, right? And we've covered him every year, and he is as advertised. He can go north and south. He can row east and west, go back north and south again, and then on top of that, he can catch the ball out of the backfield. They're going to get a great football player in Harlan Berry, and there's a reason why. He is the number one running back on a lot of people's reports, scouting reports around the country.
You see his numbers from a year ago, over 2,000 yards rushing and 37 touchdowns, another 400 yards receiving on 20 catches, 7 touchdowns. He'll play safety as well. He had 36 tackles and a defensive touchdown. I didn't know there was going to be math tonight, but that's 45 touchdowns he scored just last year. He's got over 100 in his career, and you see the honors. The Greater New Orleans Quarterback Club Player of the Year, the All-State Sugar Bowl Greater New Orleans Male Athlete of the Year. Of course, it's week one as well, and let's pause here for a moment of silence for our friend and colleague, Ed Daniels.
Louisiana High School's biggest supporter. WGNO Sports Director Ed Daniels passed away at the age of 67. Mr. Daniels not only played the first high school sports television show in New Orleans, Friday Night Football, but provided coverage and helped sponsor events for such football sports throughout the year. On his first week of high school football season, please join us in one of the silence for Mr. Ed Daniels. Thank you. This is Luke and Mr. Daniels. All Pearl High School Rebels are wearing the decal with the DD sticker on the back of their helmets. These stickers are courtesy of Dale Valley Community College and Crescent City Sports. Once again, rest in peace, Mr. Ed Daniels.
Now the crowd will remain standing. Coming up next, our national anthem from Pearl River.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, if you please remain standing, our invitation will be given to you by Dr. Skip Phillips. Front row, Dr. Fish.
For those who will, join with me. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the day. We thank you for every blessing. We thank you for this school and all the people it takes to get us to this point, Lord. And we just ask that you bless the teams, keep everyone safe from any harm and injury. And if anyone here doesn't know your face, I ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you'll face the scoreboard, our national anthem tonight.
our national anthem from Pearl River, Louisiana, as we get set for kickoff, week number 1 between St. Martin's and Pearl River. Before we talk about Pearl River's outstanding running back, Tashad Badan, your thoughts, first of all, on Ed Daniels' impact on high school football as someone who's been a member of the media and coached, and before that played. Ed was a game changer in this community.
A game changer for prep sports in this community, right? I knew him, obviously real close with him in the media, but also as a high school football coach, for a number of years. Ed covered me. And when I think about Ed, I think about how important he was when he was covering schools for the kids, right? Every kid meant something to him that played on every one of these teams. They got as many highlights on of the kids as possible, and it was a show, and his reporting was about the kids. And, God bless him. It's been a rough couple of weeks, for his family and as well as everybody in the media. And he left a huge legacy on this profession and a huge legacy on prep sports in the New Orleans area.
You heard pregame there that both teams wearing Ed decals tonight. Crescent City Sports was able to partner with Delgado Community College and put these decals out there. More than 70 schools around the New Orleans area are wearing decals on their helmets this week, which is that just shows you the impact right there of what Ed was able to do and how far he reached. So.
Right, and coaches knew that. Kids rush home every Friday night to watch Ed and his outstanding show. He set the mark and the level high for it. There was nobody better from that standpoint in the media today.
Well, Pearl River's going to get the football to start the game, and we will see Tashad Badan. By the way, you're going to see a very good kicker for St. Martin's as well, who's going to be kicking the football off, and that's Cooper Helmke, and that's an interesting matchup right there. Helmke is pretty much an automatic touchback. I think it was 97% a year ago, but he needs to get in the end zone when you've got a return guy like Badan back there, because he took the opening kickoff of the Jamboree last week, 97 yards for a touchdown.
Yeah,
so
that was one of his 2 scores last week, was the 97 kickoff return. With the ball in his hands, he's extremely exciting to watch. He rushed for over 1,400 yards last year as a junior, and they're expecting big things out of him this year. Eric Collins telling me before the game that he's the real deal. Eric Collins has coached a lot of good running backs in Louisiana as well as Mississippi, and he ranks this young man right up there in the top 5 that he has coached in his long and storied career.
Oh, he's been at it a while. 33 years as a head coach, so it's that's saying something.
Yeah, he and I
right
go way
there.
back.
241 wins in his career. He's in his 3rd year here at Pearl River. Kevin Dizer in his 2nd season at St. Martin's was, of course, before that the head coach at Riverside, and a native of Sterlington. And one of the things that Kevin said, we were talking about Ed Daniels, is Ed and my partner at Crescent City Sports, Ken Trahan, they kind of indoctrinated him in how important that high school football was in South Louisiana. He learned everything there was to learn about what was going on in South Louisiana, coming from Sterlington up in North Louisiana. Yeah, it's big up there, but it's certainly different down here.
Especially the river parishes at a whole different level.
Oh, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. So we were waiting for the clock to run down, I believe, before we get to 000s, before we get this thing started. And again, it will be Cooper Helmke, and he's a guy who is committed at this point to Boise State, but that could change. That could certainly change. He will get some Power 4 offers before it's over with his leg. I don't think there's any question about that. And he's a guy who can certainly influence the game with his foot. And, one of the things that Kevin Dizer talked about is he's doing his job. The other team's got to drive 80 yards to score.
No doubt. As a defensive coordinator, that is something that is really important, right? When your defense has another 80 yards to their back to, force the offense to have to go, that is something that is powerful, and that's something you sell to your defense on a 3-and-out type of attitude.
And while we have a moment and we're waiting for the kickoff, a chance to remind you that tonight's coverage on Crescent City Sports is brought to you by the Lamarck Motor Company in Kenner. Lamarck Ford, the #1 Ford dealer in the Metro New Orleans market. Must be a reason. And our thanks to Ronnie Lamarck and Ronnie Jr. and Ray Hoffman and the entire team at Lamarck Ford, who, by the way, was gracious enough to host Ken's Saturday morning radio show, the Three Tailgaters, 2 Saturdays ago. A huge crowd came in out there to help raise money for the Daniels family. It was a terrific event, a great opportunity for people to reach out and be able to get there and do what they can to help them.
Yeah, and you talk about that. There's people that aren't even connected to high school sports that have reached out to me and giving sympathy to the Daniels family through me and having Ed and his family in their prayers. So, just not through prep football. He's very well known.
By the way, the latest tribute, the Kenner City Council passing the resolution last night that the field at Musbertolino Stadium will now be known as Ed Daniels Field. And that will be dedicated, I believe, 4 weeks from tonight when Kenner Discovery plays Bonneville. I believe those are the plans. So here we go. Helmke kicks it away, and it's into the end zone for a touchback, as we surmised might be the case. So Pearl River will start 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. And we will get our first look at Braden Hutchison, I should say, the Pearl River quarterback. Pearl River in the shiny red helmets with the red jerseys. Always like the UCLA stripes on the jerseys and the white pants. St. Martin's all white head to toe this evening. So Hutchison, the junior, 6'3", 160 pounds. We'll bring everybody in tight here. Give it away on 1st down to Bannon. Off the left side, 30, 35, 40, still on his feet. Brought down at about midfield. Let's see, they'll put him all the way, actually. Now we'll mark it at the 50-yard line. Well, and I believe that was Bryce Helwig on the tackle for St. Martin's. Another look, Wade.
Right, there's the bottom line is here, it's going to be a game of running backs tonight. 2 really good running backs in Southeast Louisiana. We've already talked about how good Barry is. There's a good look at how good Badon is right there. He gets to the outside, shows his speed.
Quick pass on 1st down this side and tripped up. That was Sean Jenkins, a 2-way player for Pearl River. He will start both ways. He had 21 catches a year ago. He gets 5 on that.
You're going to see a lot of both-way players tonight out of both of these teams. They're going to have guys all over the place playing both sides of the ball.
2nd and 5. Toss sweep left Badon. Looks to go back up inside, and he is brought down, but not until he gets the 1st down at about the 37-yard line, a gain of 8.
John Lambert, the offensive coordinator for the Pearl River Rebels, is really high on Badon also. He's coached a lot of places around Southeast Louisiana, a lot of 5A running backs, and he said that this one is very special also. So we're in for a real treat tonight to see 2 of the best running backs in this whole New Orleans area.
So at the 37, Badon has touched it twice. He's got 38 yards on the ground. This time it will be Jenkins lined up in the backfield, and he's done that a little bit. He carried it 25 times a year ago, averaged almost 9 yards a carry. So he knows what to do with the ball in his hands, and he gets a 1st down there. It's a gain of 12.
No, he knows how to read the counter right there. He gets the kick out. He follows his lead block from the backside guard nicely up into the hole, gets a block, and picks up great yardage for another 1st down.
We're seeing Pearl River try to establish its will early. This is obviously a bigger team with better numbers. As Badon off the left side will carry a tackler past the sticks and for a 1st down at the 14-yard line.
Lenny, did you see how strong he was right there? He had a couple of white jerseys draped on his hips, and he carried them for a couple extra yards and fell forward. Right now, you can tell that this guy is something special. Watch him fall forward. Carrying a couple guys, white jerseys, and he makes sure he falls forward. That's a mark of a solid running back, always falling forward.
Gabe Savarese was the victim of the drag and finally brought him down. Savarese, 50 tackles a year ago, just a sophomore. There wasn't much there, and yet Badon found a way to get 4. St. Martin's is signaling, do they have the football at the bottom of the pile?
Obviously, on a wet night on turf, that ball can get real slippery, so people have got to make sure that they are looking for that thing to pop out if you're on defense. Offensively, you're holding it high and tight. Another counterplay right there, twisting, turning, always falling forward again, like I said, picking up extra yardage.
I'll tell you who might have gotten a hand in there is Harlan Berry. He knows what to do with when he gets the hands on the football. There's no doubt about it. 2nd and 7, the ball at the 11-yard line. First drive of the game. Off the right side, Badon trying to get to the edge. He will score. Touchdown, Pearl River. Tashad Badon with the 11-yard touchdown run, capping a 7-play, 80-yard drive that took 2 minutes and 41 seconds. And it was mostly Badon.
Great blocking out on the edge. You know I love it when I see those wide receivers doing their job right out on the edge. When we take a look at the replay again, you'll see a couple of nice wide receivers for Pearl River doing their job out on the edge to be able to pop that on into the end zone.
High snap on the point after. Kick is away and no good.
Well, on a wet night, special teams could play a huge part of this, right?
Yeah,
look
here's
at the
another look at the
on
touchdown. And look, there's
number 5, Sean Jenkins doing a great job out there on the edge.
He'll do a lot. He'll play defense. He'll line up at wide receiver. You saw him in the backfield, and you'll see him on defense shortly as well. So he is a guy who can do a lot, and obviously blocking is one of those things as well.
Well, he's a football player, right? I mean, you play in a small school, small community school, small division school, right? You're going to play both ways. You're a football player. You're going to be tired at the end of the night. You're going to make sure you walk home dragging because, you took 60 snaps on offense and another 60 on defense, and you had to play special teams along the way. So some of these guys will not come off the field tonight.
Okay, well, you see a lot more of that of the guys in white, certainly, as they've got 37 players on their roster. Pearl River's roster a little more in the 60s. All right, so Harlan Berry is standing in the center of the field at about the 13-yard line. Most people will try to kick away from him. They don't want the football in his hands.
Well, I would too. I mean, I'm going to make sure I don't put it in his hands. That's just for obvious reasons, right?
We'll see what Keaton Finn does right here with the kickoff. And he's going to try to pooch it, and a fair catch is called for. Nice play right there on special teams by Will Adrians, the junior wide receiver linebacker, went back and kind of made an over-the-shoulder catch right there and called for a fair catch. And let's see, they will put the football down at the 40-yard line. So St. Martin's is going to start right there with 9:19 to play in the first quarter.
Well, this is going to be our first look tonight at Harlan Berry. So we've seen one excellent running back for Pearl River. Now we're going to see another excellent running back for St. Martin's.
Ashton Oliver, the senior quarterback, passed for 782 yards and 8 touchdowns a year ago, can also run it, 462 yards and 5 touchdowns. Berry was in the slot. Now he'll move as a sidecar. He'll get it on first down. First touch of the season for Berry, and everybody in red knew who was going to touch the football. He loses 1.
Yeah, led by Gage Duran right there, 6'2", 235-pound linebacker for the Rebels. Sits in the hole, steps up nicely, hits Berry in the backfield for no gain.
2nd and 11. Berry on the jet sweep this time, turns it up inside, and he will get about 6. So it's 3rd and manageable now, 3rd and 5.
Yeah, jet sweep. The thing he did is once he saw the hole, he gets north and south quick. Watch right here.
Yeah,
he saw the
vision.
hole,
Yeah,
sticks his foot in the ground, and gets north and south now.
So it's 3rd down. The line to make is right at midfield, right in the middle of that PR logo. Berry is lined up in the slot to the top of your screen. Now he'll move out a little bit. Oliver rolls. He will throw it in the flat. Pass is incomplete. And that was intended for Tyler Penny. Had 10 catches a year ago, and it's 4th down.
Pearl River giving them a too-high secondary look, cover 4 right there, and they went to the right route, a little smash route out with the corner above it. You had Barry going to the corner, and you had Penny going to the out. Corner drops off, leaves Penny wide open. Ball hits him in the hands. He doesn't make the catch.
All right, so 4th and 5, and St. Martin's lining up to go for it here. Play clock at 10. Fake it to Barry. Quarterback's going to keep it and not get to the sticks. A terrific open field tackle, and guess who? The guy whose name we've called a bunch already tonight, Sean Jenkins, makes the stop a yard short of a first down, Wade.
5'10", 175 player, football player. Watch him come off the block right there. Had to be careful there, almost a horse collar. Watch where you put your hands, Mr. Jenkins, up on his shoulder right there. A little bit more inside. It had been a horse collar, but he's right there filling the alley to pull down Oliver for no first down. First down, Rebels going in the opposite direction.
They'll get the football, call it officially, at the 48-yard line. So the Rebels get a score, get a stop, get the ball right back, and on the toss sweep, trying to get their guy to the edge, and nearly at the sticks is Tashad Badon, a gain of 8.
Somebody from St. Martin needs to come up and set the edge on the toss sweep. Look up top at the top of your film. He gets ran off, nice blocking out there, gets off the block. He's got to come up and set some sort of edge. Late getting off the block, that's a credit to Pearl River, doing a great job out there on the edge with their blocking, their stalk blocking by the wide receiver, but you got to get the edge set up. Had a flag.
It's coming back. It's against Pearl River, so they will mark it. Let's see where they're going to mark it from here.
They might have got the wide receiver. I couldn't get a number out there for a hold out on the edge. But that edge has got to get set, or Badon will be wearing out that toss sweep all night.
All right, so it was at the end of the play, it appears. Let's see. Well, this is interesting. They're marking it from 5 yards past the spot. I'm not sure I've seen that before. It was downfield. You usually don't go past the spot there, but they're going to mark it for 10 yards from the 35. The play ended at the 40.
I didn't see a preliminary signal either.
So now it's 1st and 7. Badon off the right side. He will get the first down to about the 35-yard line.
Again, wearing out the edge. They run stretch that time. Outside zone stretch. Everybody's reach. Great blocking again out here on the perimeter. Sooner or later, he's going to have to cut it north and south. He does, and he gets the first down.
So Badon now with 86 yards rushing in 2 series.
Well, he's going to be the workhorse all night. We know that. Pearl River's going to make sure that he get his mileage out of Badon for sure.
Now you get 2 in the backfield. Jenkins there as well, and he will get it on first down, and he's not going anywhere. Best defensive play tonight for St. Martin's.
Yeah, great penetration over there. It looked like by Cole Lacoste, defensive lineman for St. Martin's, does a nice job over there on that edge, getting some penetration and banging up the counterplay in the backfield.
So 2nd down, 11 at the 36-yard line. Coming up on the midway mark of the first quarter, Pearl River, if you're just joining us, scored on its opening drive. St. Martin's went 4 and out. Went for it on 4th down, couldn't get there. Trying to get the left side. Jenkins has nothing there and might have lost another yard.
At time they go to a 2 backfield set. They brought in a fullback for the lead blocker on the power, gets the kick out, but doing nicely, stepping up and making a play right there was a linebacker. It looked like Adriance for St. Martin's, number 9, stepping up and making a tackle.
So we should be getting to the 6-minute mark here, which they will stop it for a hydration timeout.
Yep.
And
Federation rule,
Yep.
6 minutes until October.
Yep, right, into first 4 weeks of the season this year. Sometimes it's been the first 5 weeks. This year it'll be 4 weeks that takes us through the end of September.
There's no lack of water out there tonight.
No, not at all. You need a little water. Just
Tongue in cheek, right?
open your mouth and hold up your head, and chances are it's going to fall in. So that's what have you seen thus far that you expected? What have you seen that surprised you, Wade?
Well, what I've seen a pretty good running back for Pearl River. That can run inside, he can run outside, and he runs with power, right? What I see from St. Martin's is they're going to have to stiffen up a little bit up front, especially with their offensive line, in order to get Mr. Berry moving, right? So they're going to have to be able to get him his opportunities, and they're going to have to feed him to get him going. You know, it's like an engine. It's got to run for a few minutes in order to run and purr, right? So I think that's what they've got to do in order to get Mr. Berry going. That offensive line is going to have to step up a little more for St. Martin's.
Seen some good adjustments here the last couple of plays. A couple of tackles for loss, and now it's 3rd down and 12 with the ball at the 37-yard line. In fact, the first time tonight we've seen Pearl River face a 3rd down. Quarterback's going to keep it. Tripped up and brought down from behind. Nice play that time by one of the defensive linemen, Aiden Mollison, the junior lineman who plays both ways. Got some pressure in there, kind of released from his block, and then came from behind and made the tackle, Wade. Only a gain of 2.
Yeah, quarterback draw. Everything was run off vertically. They try to set everything up. Quarterback gets the ball. Hutchison takes off with the ball right up the center.
And I think you went into this knowing this was going to be 4-down territory. You're in no man's land. Whistles before this one can get underway, and timeout. But there's timeout Pearl River, no flag. Yeah, Eric Collins was out there trying to get the timeout before the play clock expired, and he just did get it.
He was barking at somebody, and he couldn't get the attention of the player on the field, so he started screaming at the official for the timeout. The timeout was granted, obviously. So Coach Collins animated about something down there.
He's got a pretty experienced staff here that he's put together.
You're right.
At Pearl River. You mentioned John Lambert.
Long-time coach in the New Orleans area at Hahnville, De La Salle. Franklinton, he's been up in Franklinton for a little while, and now he's down here at Pearl River.
And Mike Berg is his defensive coordinator, a former head coach as well.
Correct. Athletic director and still helps coaching football, Tony Jurisic, that coached on the North Shore for a few years, coached in the city for a few years, has been around. I walk out there, it's like, old folks day, right?
Yeah, so you know everybody. I got to go introduce myself, and everybody else is, Wade, it's great to see you again. So it doesn't matter where we go. It's like it's like Norm walking into Cheers. Everybody knows Wade's name.
Yeah, some of them say last time I saw you, you had hair, right?
Well,
so you know how that works. But
I used to get that too once upon a time.
There you go. But it's good to see those guys. They're all good football coaches, as well as St. Martin's got a great staff on that side, too, Kevin Dicer and his guys.
And, of course, Frank Gendusa, the former head coach, still on staff as athletic director. So it's great to have that kind of sounding board to be able to consult with. 4th and 10. Toss, and this is well defended right here. They tried to run the toss sweep that time to Jenkins, and a host of white jerseys were up to defend. Berry was in the mix, along with the cornerback Kane Odo, who made the stop right there. You see Harlem shed the block right there, and then he's in the middle of it right there on the edge trying to stop that play, and he did just that. It is no gain, and St. Martin's will get it on downs.
Look, Harlem Berry can play defense, right? I mean, he sheds the block and he gets in on the tackle. So, he can kind of do it all. Man, it really tickles me to be able to see this, see guys playing both ways and having to have to do it all, and then you're going to feed them the ball right here most likely in this series, and he can get it going real quick. So it's just fun to watch these guys play two ways.
A lot of that on the St. Martin side, and whistles before this and get underway, and St. Martin's going to have to operate behind the change. This will be a false start. So it is now 1st and 15 back at the 31-yard line. First penalty of the night against the Saints, one each way now. This looks like a quarterback keeper, and it is. Nice run that time off the right side. Best looking offensive play of the night thus far for the Saints comes from the legs of Ashton Oliver, as he will get 8 and gets the Saints back on schedule at 2nd and 7.
Look, in 2023, Ashton Oliver had 75 carries for 482 yards and 5 rushing touchdowns. So he is no stranger to the quarterback rushing game. So that makes him a nice dual-threat quarterback because he has a nice arm on him, too, where he threw for 782 yards and 8 touchdowns in 2023.
Now Berry right alongside of him. We've got whistles before this one can get underway. It's against Pearl River.
Yeah, lined up in the neutral zone.
So now 2nd and 7 turns into 2nd and 2.
Just remember, you can't line up in the neutral zone in high school, you
can't get beat.
Right.
No, it's not an encroachment thing where it takes contact. If you're lined up,
Correct.
The play is dead.
They're going to stop it right away.
Here's Berry. Forward, gets about 4 yards, and he gets the first down of the evening for St. Martin's. That just happened so quickly. The Wadey is so quick to the hole that time. You look up and you think it might be no gain or a gain of 1, but look how quickly he gets there.
Yeah, well, they run counter, and he hits it right up inside. He's got such great vision, so that thing could cut all the way back to the backside A and B gap. What he did is he stayed play side A and B and hit it right up into a crease to pick up a first down.
So the ball now at the 48-yard line. As we hit the 4-minute mark of the first quarter. Play fake that time to Berry, and Oliver will keep it and get 3 on first down.
Lenny, same blocking scheme, right? They run the same counter scheme, but this time the quarterback pulls the ball, disconnects from Berry, and rams it up inside. Coming into your picture right there, you can see the kick out and the puller right there, down blocks, and you can see Oliver just sticking his nose right up inside off of the fake. Not afraid of the contact.
2nd down and 7, ball now across the 50 at the Pearl River 49-yard line. As Berry continues to operate alongside the quarterback, Ashton Oliver. He gets it this time, looks to bounce it outside, breaks out of 1 tackle, stays on his feet, is near the first down at the 43. Gain of 6 for Harlan Berry.
Picked his spot. Everything bunched up inside. Doesn't see anywhere to go. What does he do? He just keeps feeling it to his right. Feel, and he finds some open green turf right there to pick up a nice gain for the Saints.
So now it's 3rd and 1. Oliver will keep it and get the first down.
Impressed with Oliver. He likes to run the football, and he's not afraid to get hit, right? So they run power, quarterback power. He sticks his nose right up in there, takes a lick, but he keeps ticking, right? Started with a bad snap. Got to get that thing down, right? So, but what does he do? Catches it, makes an athletic play, takes on the contact, picks up the first down.
All right, so we are 9.5 minutes into this one, and if I told you that Harlan Berry was not the leading rusher at this point for St. Martin's, what would you have said? Ashton Oliver has 17 yards rushing. Harlan Berry has 15.
Well, it means you got a couple weapons out there with him, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Motion man coming across. The toss sweep. Berry juggles it. And, wait, we got a whistle here. I don't know what this is about. I don't know that he put a knee down here. Are they calling him down, or what? Or are they calling this a forward pass?
They're calling him down. They're calling him down.
Well, no, I think this it's an incomplete pass.
Incomplete. Okay, so they called it forward pass.
So they basically called it a shovel pass. Let's see if Chip Merritt can get us another look at that one. That is not a forward pass. That is a bad call right there. That is a 2-yard lateral, and Berry had a lot of open field when he turned that back. So that'll go as an incomplete pass officially, but that was definitely a lateral.
You see, that would have been one of those, Lenny, I'd have been out to the numbers.
And timeout, St. Martin's, their first of the first half.
Did you see the cutback by Harlem Berry? He fumbles the ball, right? He fumbles the ball, and he's kicking it around, booting it around, picks it up, and he feels it backside. He just spins and takes off.
And let me tell you something.
He felt that. He didn't see it. He felt that.
Had that not gotten blown dead right there,
he'd have been gone.
There were two DBs on that side. That may have well been a St. Martin's touchdown.
That absolutely correct.
But they weren't going to outrun him. Okay,
no.
He's a guy with sprinter speed.
No, but my point is, he didn't see it. He felt it.
Right.
He spun right into it, and he just felt that it was there, right? And he would have been out the backside, 88 and out the gate, and probably into the end zone.
Now that's different. I mean, it's one thing to have vision. It's another thing to have feel. And that's instincts that can't be taught, I guess. In reality, I mean, it's
the guys that had feel. You think about O.J. Simpson, right? You look at the old tapes of him. Watch this. Felt it. You see anybody over there?
Yeah, that guy right there. And that other guy was not going to run him down, I don't think.
O.J. Simpson had feel like that.
Sure.
Marcus White had feel like that. You talk about some of Barry Sanders had feel like that.
And that's the guy, you'll hear it from Harlem Berry at halftime. And by the way, stay with us at half. We got a great visit. Renee Nato sat down earlier this week with Harlem and get a chance to hear from him. This is a quarterback keeper around the left side, and some nice yardage right there for Ashton Oliver. Out past, I believe, the 35-yard line to maybe the 34. We'll wait for the spot. Might even give him the 33. And Oliver has come up a little gimpy here.
Off the jet sweep fake, right? He keeps the ball out on the edge. Thibodeau right there had his shot. He needed to make that tackle. Did a nice job getting off the block, coming up and setting the edge, and he misses the tackle.
And now, so 6 yards on the run. It's 3rd and 4 at the 34. Certainly 4-down territory right here.
Keep an eye on Oliver, guys. He looks a little gimpy.
And now we got a timeout. Let's see what this is about. The officials are going to talk.
Little conference out there, checking clock time possibly.
I think they let the game clock continue to run there for a moment. They may reset it. It's going to be reset to 1:56. They're going to put 15 seconds back on the game clock. I believe that's 1:56 that he's holding up.
Body language of Oliver doesn't look good. He looks like he's limping on his left leg. Let's hope he can shake that off.
So 3rd and 4. The ball at the 34. Give it to Berry. Right side. Room to run. Out past the 20. Still on his feet. 15, 10, 5. Did not get in. He got dragged out at the 1-yard line.
When we look at this, we're going to see a great cut off of a counter play. Okay, he gets to the second level right here. Zip. One move right there. Beats a block. Look at this move right here. Now, this is what I don't like. Watch right here. He slows down and decides to look back. For some reason.
Never mind. This is coming back anyway.
Right, it's coming back anyway. I just don't like the body language of that going into the end zone. But kudos on the two moves inside when he gets to the second level and he runs over one player in a red jersey, leaves somebody in the dust in a red jersey on the second move, right? And then for some reason he gets to the 5-yard line. He decides to turn around and start looking backwards. I don't know if that was meant to be, if it was meant to be a taunt or not, but he's got to get into the end zone.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that was all about. It's 3rd and 6 now at the 36. Quarterback will keep it and nowhere to go this time for the quarterback, Ashton Oliver. And another flag comes in, and I believe that's going to be perhaps unnecessary activity on Pearl River at the end of the play. Let's take a look as you see what's happening here. And didn't let go and gives an extra shove. Didn't need to do that. It's a personal foul against Pearl River, and that's going to be an automatic first down.
Well, you can't shove the other guy. They already had him stopped right there, and that's going to be a personal foul by any high school association. So that was Dakota Johnson that had him all wrapped up, had the play stopped, and then decided to go ahead and add a little extracurricular into the back of that to tack on 15 to the play.
So it's going to be marked from the line of scrimmage.
He'll come off the boundary, and he'll be educated on that, I'm sure, by Coach Collins and his staff.
So it's 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line as we close in on the final minute of this first quarter of play. Berry is lined up at the slot towards the bottom of your screen. Now he'll come in motion. Oliver. And might have gotten a yard on that one. Let's see. Might have put him down at the line of scrimmage. Nice tackle that time. That was Dakota Johnson once again.
Well, makes a great play again coming off the personal foul. Watch him shed the block right here and get off, and makes a nice play as the hole was closing down quick on Ashton Oliver.
Andrew Barron helping out there at the end, but they've started to contain the quarterback a little bit. This is Berry. Might have got a yard on the play.
Looked like he lost his footing right at about the 20-yard line. Remember, wet turf out there tonight, so he went to make a cut, and it looks like he's going to go over to the sideline and maybe put on some longer cleats. I don't know, but it slipped a little bit right there.
What you do with this turf situation? Well, it was the final play of the first quarter. We will switch sides. It'll be a big 3rd and 9 when we come back. 1 quarter in the books. It is Pearl River 6, St. Martin's nothing. You are watching high school football from Crescent City Sports. So as we get set to start the second quarter of play, a big 3rd and 9 from the 20-yard line coming up for St. Martin's here, Wade. And
they're going to have to control the line of scrimmage in order to get him going, right? They're struggling right now with Pearl River's size and depth up there on that defensive line. They're going to have to get their offensive line to get more physical if they want to get Berry going.
Berry in motion across the formation. Oliver will throw. He's got a man wide open. Touchdown. But we've got a flag.
Well, that's another way to get in the end zone, right? Berry doesn't have to do it. You can throw it deep, and which they did, and got a wide open receiver.
Illegal shift is the call against St. Martin's.
2 people in motion at the same time. They're going to have illegal shift on that. We'll look back at our replay here and see if we can get the number for you, but nobody covered the receiver that was standing in the end zone. I didn't get the number of the receiver, but everybody was at the line of scrimmage.
I believe that was 6. That was Tyler Penny.
Tyler Penny sitting all by himself.
I didn't see a second man moving there. I'm sorry.
No,
I don't know.
I didn't either, but that was Tyler Penny coming off of the
It was one-on-one, and Berry came right in motion to where the man who was guarding Penny was, and Berry attracted the attention.
Well, as he should, right? So the safeties are at the line of scrimmage.
Right, no doubt.
They were man up out here.
Timeout St. Martin's coming up. 3rd and 14. Again, this You would think in most cases in high school it's 4-down territory, but you've got a very good kicker in Cooper Helmke here. So that's a situation where if you can get a little bit of something back here and make that a little bit shorter. Here's one more look, Wade. See if we see anything here. You see Berry's in motion. Somebody else has got to be moving here, right? Is a second man moving? I don't see it. Everybody else moved at the snap. Yeah, I don't see it.
I didn't see it either. Penny put a move on the man coverage, and he left the corner standing on the line of scrimmage, and he was sitting in the end zone all by himself. Safeties bit hard, as they should, coming up on the play action to Berry, and then there was Penny standing by himself. It was an easy throw and catch for
when you've got somebody,
supposedly touchdown,
yeah,
right?
When you've got somebody that special, that is the, that's an attraction out there. Wherever he goes, the eyes are going to follow, right?
I like the call. I like the play. Pearl River playing a lot of 2-high cover 4, so they're trying to come down in that box to get the extra run support real fast, as they should. So what that does, that leaves that corner out there on an island. So if you're not really sound on the island, you can get beat deep.
Berry in the slot. Pass is thrown in the direction of Berry. Incomplete. He couldn't haul it in at the goal line. Somebody might have got a hand in there as well. So it's 4th and 14 now at the 25. And decision time for Kevin Dizer.
Well, they had Berry lined up out here at the bottom of your screen, and they're going to run post corner right there, and there's Berry coming into your picture. 2 receivers in the same spot. I don't think that was planned. Berry goes up. He almost had a chance to come down with that, but it looked like somebody got their hand in the last second.
So they will try the field goal with Helmke. It'll be 42 yards, the attempt.
Well within his range. Kicked 44 last year.
Kick is down, and it is good. And the Saints are on the board. It is a 6-3 ball game here with now 11:40 to play in the second quarter. As you get another look at the kick, Wade, he showed you plenty of leg right there, just as we expected.
Yeah, this is coming from a guy that plays in the secondary also, right? So you know he's running around all night.
And wide receiver. Yeah,
and wide receiver when he's out there getting rotated in as a wide receiver. So this guy is running all over the place on the legs. He just walks up, and that's like a 9-iron shot right there and puts it on the green through the uprights. So I got to think he's going to be on somebody's radar as – bigger than what he's already kind of committed to.
And nothing against Boise State, who has been an outstanding program for a number of years now.
Well, you're a kicker. You're kicking Boise State. You got to think about the elevation, right? Mm-hmm. Ball goes farther, it's lighter. You might be thinking that, right?
It'll help. But, again, I don't know what, here he is going to punt. He is going to kick. He is going to kick off. Correct. It might be a situation there where he is doing one of those 3. Obviously, based on what you see, kickoffs are certainly a strong suit if he's putting everything pretty much for a touchback.
I mean, it's kind of like if I'm getting drafted as a Major League Baseball player, I want to get drafted by Colorado. Right? I think my home run average can go up, right?
Unless you're a pitcher.
Unless you're a pitcher, right? But, I'm talking as a hitter. He's thinking Boise State because of the elevation. He's going to be able to kick the ball farther, slider, onside kick.
Onside kick. Tried to catch the kicking team sleeping there, and heads-up play there by Charles Rickle, the sophomore reserve linebacker. Yeah, they just went to that bunch formation, and Rickle was there.
Yeah, Rickle was there. He just falls right on.
Yeah, and if not, that could have very easily been a stolen possession for St. Martin's.
Well, it goes back to St. Martin's game plan. They don't want to, they don't want to always have to kick the ball deep, because if they miss it on a wet night like that, it's coming down in Badon's hands, right? So they try to surprise onside to try to turn the momentum. I like the call. I like the play. Great job, great coaching to get Rickle to fall on that football.
All right. So flag comes in, as that was a first down run that time by Badon, but I think this will come back for a hold.
Yeah, counter play is going to come back for a hold.
You get another look at it right here. And that's indeed the case. Right there, it looks like, huh? That might have been, let's see where they put the football down, but it looked like it might have been one of those backs coming up Maybe Bowman, the fullback right there, might have gotten in there and done or actually it might have been the tight end Kelcher, 36. But it's 1st and 19. Little screen pass this way. Making a man miss and down the sidelines, but coming up short of the first down is Sean Jenkins.
Wow. Sean Jenkins is a good football player.
No doubt.
I'm just going to leave it at that. St. Martin's has a chance right here at the bottom of your screen to make the play, right? You got Tyler Penny trying to come up.
Tackle,
yeah, just misses the tackle. He comes up. He's one-on-one. He's got to make that play. I mean, he's going to hear about that when he gets into film tomorrow. He's got to come to balance real quick, and he's got to make a play on that.
And another flag coming in here. Let's see what this is about. Is that after the play?
Ashton Oliver laying on the sideline. I think that might be the gimpy leg that he was hurt back in the first quarter on, and I think he was hit late out of bounds because that might be what that personal foul is.
Oliver is the free safety on defense. So it will come from the end of the play.
You know, that's the thing bad about the two-way thing, even though I love it. If you lose a player, you're losing.
You lose two or three
positions,
or three players.
And even special play, right on your special teams. If you are a special team player, absolutely, there's no doubt about it. And that really, when you have 36 men on your roster, that can cripple you.
It can definitely. And look, it's week one. That's the other thing.
Right.
You got to
play with these guys.
Grind. Look, this is a St. Martin's team that has been practicing on Thanksgiving Day the last 2 years. They got to the semis 2 years ago. They got to the quarters last year. As you see now, Oliver will make the slow walk across. Good thing he's under his own power at this point.
Yeah, he's a tough kid. He gets to that boundary, he's going to want to rub that thing off and get back in there. But anyway, you look at it, they're going to mark that. They're going to bring that thing back.
Yeah, basically it wiped out the game. The game was 16,
right. There you
and
go.
the 15-yard penalty. Now, the other thing is you lose the down right there because it was after the play. It's a post. It's a post-play foul.
Right.
So as opposed to a hold or something like that, which is during the play, which
correct.
You replay the down. This is a dead ball situation, so it's now 2nd and 18 instead of what would have been 2nd and 3.
Correct. Killer. You can't do those sort of things.
What the penalties have done here, though, is they have really kind of waxed the flow of this game. Roll out by the quarterback, and he's got room to run if he wants to pull it down, and he does. Up to the 50, still on his feet, 45, still running, and brought down at the 43-yard line, and another flag will come in late. As a nice heads-up play right there by Hutchison. He realized nobody was there when he rolled out and just put it down and went.
Mark of a good quarterback. His first start as a varsity football player, and
it's a face mask, a 5-yard face mask against St. Martin's. So
they'll tack
that on, and it's going to be a first down.
So as I was saying, Hutchinson does a nice job. Look at this right here. Now everything's covered up. No place to go with the ball. Nice job right here. Looks like an experienced quarterback making the job to tuck that thing away and get forward and pick up what you can and protect the football. And there's your face mask right at the end. Hand comes right across it. It was not a personal foul, so they'll just tack 5 on to that. Gives him the first down.
Put the football at the 39-yard line. Give it away on first down, and not much doing that time by Badon there. Give him 3. It'll be, or check that. Was it? It's a gain of 3, 2nd and 7.
Yeah, nice tackle by Cooper Wakefield coming up from his safety position to make that play. Tackled Badon by the ankles. Big guy, Badon. I was down on the field before the game, walked past him, and I tell you what, he's put together now. Spent some time in that weight room.
He's got room to run this time off the left side. 25-20, 15-10, and a first down. Let's see where they spot the football. Will be goal to go. No, they'll mark it short of the 10 and put him down at the 11-yard line. It's a gain of 25 for Badon, who is now over 100 yards rushing on the night, Wade.
Helwig saves a touchdown right here for the Saints, knocks him out of bounds. But you can't arm tackle this guy, right? You try to arm tackle this guy, he's going to run right through you and step on you. He's powerful when he's running downhill.
So at the 11-yard line, the thing that I've seen thus far, you want to get other people involved, but when Badon's got the football in his hands, he's tough to stop. Movement up front. Let's see, was this?
They drew him off sides. The snap count.
Went with a hard count. So put the ball down at the 6 now. First down and 5. The 4th penalty of this drive, 2 for each team. As we tick towards 9 minutes to play in the first half. Badon. He falls forward and signal. No, he's down. They're saying he's down short of the goal line. He is short of the goal. Oh, the ball came out. Okay.
Ball also popped out, but they're calling him down. And the fumble was after he came to the ground.
You get another look here.
He's down right there, and the ball popped out. It's better. So they gave him the score? No.
Now they're putting the ball at the 3-yard line, so apparently they did.
They did. I guess they came around and gave him the score. They said the ball broke the plane.
Okay, well, now, are they saying the ball's at the 3? I'm confused here.
Yeah.
And perhaps it's a 2-point play. I don't know. We're going to find out here in a minute. But I guess that was a 2-point conversion because I don't see a kicking team coming out now.
Well, the only thing I can judge is from this is one line judge overruled the other line judge on the ball breaking the plane. The line judge on our side was ruling that he was down. Maybe we couldn't see the line judge at the top of the screen come running in and overruled the breaking of the plane, which gave him the touchdown.
Yeah, I was looking at the far side, who was appearing to say no, he's down, and then I look back at the near side. Yeah, exactly.
Nobody went under a tent.
No.
Right?
Then exactly. You're not going to see that in high school football, at least until we get to the Superdome, the second week of December.
And don't get me started on that.
Yeah. Tonight's coverage, by the way, on Crescent City Sports, brought to you by Ochsner Andrews Sports Medicine Institute, a regional leader in orthopedic and sports medicine innovation and treatment, caring for both our active community and the Saints. To learn more, visit oxnard.org/sportsmed. Long live you. Long live the Saints.
Well, and then to end that story, they did call it a touchdown, and they put the ball on the 3-yard line, and they ran it in for the 2-point conversion, and brings it 14-3. Yep. So there we go.
So 14-3 now, Pearl River with 9:03 to play here in what has been a very slow-moving second quarter.
It's because of those flags.
Kickoff. We'll go to the far side to the 15-yard line. They kicked it away from Berry, and the kick is returned out to about the 27-yard line.
Nice job kicking the ball away from Berry, directionally kicking it into the kickoff team's right side of the field, right quadrant of the field.
So, if you're Kevin Dizer right here, what are you doing to try and get your running back a little more engaged, engaged offensively here? Try to get. I mean, he had the one big play that was called back by holding.
I'm motivating my offensive line. That's where they've got to get going up front, because right now Pearl River is controlling both sides of the line of scrimmage, offensively and defensively.
High snap, give it away to Berry. That looked like a nice run off the left side. Spins, makes a man miss all the way out to midfield, and that's far and away Harlan Berry's best run of the night. First down, St. Martin's.
You're going to see Harlan Berry about 10 yards downfield, duck his shoulder and pop somebody. You'll see it coming up right here on the ISO. Boom, right there. See how he lowers shoulders naturally, spins out of it? Nicely done.
Gain of 22. First and 10, just short of midfield, the 49-yard line. Berry again. Tap dancing. Now room to run outside. 40, 35, 30. He's going to cut it back. 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Harlan Berry. That is how you get it going.
Absolutely, and that's all Harlan Berry. He was stopped in the backfield. He had somebody in a Pearl River jersey hit him about a yard in the backfield, and he bounces off of it. He's gotten bigger and stronger over the years. There it is right there. He makes a cut outside, then he turns on the jets and outruns everything in a red jersey and a red helmet. Look at the cutback right here.
So Barry had 24 yards coming into that drive, and now he's got 97. Got all 73 yards on 2 runs on that drive. Point after is good, and your new score with 8:22 to play in the second quarter is now Pearl River 14 and St. Martin's 10.
You know, Lenny, we've followed Holland Berry for the past 3 years. Now it's his senior year, and we're watching him, and we've watched how he has matured with his running, right? I can remember when he was a freshman, he had a hard time staying inside and pressing the hole on the things that were run in between the tackles, like the ISO plays, the counter plays, the power plays. He would always be quick to bounce that thing outside and run into the waiting arms of the defenders that were waiting out there for him, or he would outrun them just with his speed. But as the years have gone by, I've watched him starting to press that hole, and right there, he pressed the hole. He got hit about a yard in the backfield, continued on his path, pressed the hole before he jump cut to the outside right there. That's the sign of a mature running back and how he's matured over these past 4 years. And that's what I'm sure all these college coaches have looked at, too, as they've looked at the tapes in the years, as they've been recruiting him, right? How he has matured and how he's learned how to do these things, press the hole, and, as I said, feel things rather than all the time just see them.
This may be about one of the few plays of the game you don't see Harlan Berry on the field on kickoff coverage. He's out there on return teams.
I'll tell you what.
You know, he's out there on offense. He's out there on defense.
When it comes down to game time, if it means I've got to cover something, I might put him on the kickoff team, right?
Line drive kick, not a good kick there from Helmke. It goes out of bounds. That could be, might have slipped with a wet ball, and anything's possible right there. So
if his plant foot could have slipped or something on the turf, you don't know. Those you don't see that too often from him. But that's impressive when we talk about stuff like that out of Barry, just to see him mature over the years and what he's learned and what he has become. Oh, look, that's to take nothing away from Badon either. He's got those skills. He's a downhill running back right now.
So Barry, 8 carries for 97 yards. Badon, 10 carries for 11 carries for 121 yards. It's Badon right here on first down, trying to get the edge. And he is brought down at the 40-yard line for a gain of 5 as Carter Furman, the sophomore linebacker, came up and did a nice job filling on the edge there.
When you say
good
filling,
pursuit.
Right, yeah, absolutely, like he was shot out of a gun. Great speed for that young linebacker, Furman.
So officially make it 6. It'll be 2nd and 4 at the 41. And once again, it's Badon. He's going to get stopped. Oh, they're going to give him the first down. Say he fell forward to the 45. I thought he got stopped a yard short.
Yeah, it was a nice tackle by Cole Lacoste, but he got dragged just a little bit in order to give him the first down. That shows you the strength of Badon, especially in his thighs and his hips.
So Hutchison continues to operate from the gun. This time he's got a back right on either side of him. And this time they will give it away to Jenkins, and he's got room to run down the sideline, breaks a tackle, and he will go in for the touchdown. Sean Jenkins, 55 yards for the score, and we suddenly have a track meet on our hands here, Wade.
You cannot arm tackle this guy. St. Martin sells the house. They bring 3 linebackers, right? You live by the blitz, you die by the blitz. They brought 7 guys that time. All of a sudden, boom, pop, you're running around in the third level, you're running out in secondary, and then these guys are going to try to tackle him with their arms. You're not bringing him down with the arms. Mr. Badon just proved that to St. Martin's. Don't blitz me. I'm going to make you pay.
That's now 212 yards rushing tonight for Pearl River. Point after is, they pick it up and run with it after the bad snap, and it's going to be a failed conversion right there.
Snap bobbled, picked up, and he was trying to get out the back door right there, and he got ran down by the white jerseys.
So your new score now, which seemingly is changing almost by the second here, we've now had 3 touchdowns in the last 1 minute and 50 seconds.
Weren't the Olympics over 3 weeks ago?
Seemingly. the Paralympics are still going on, but it's if you watch the track and field there, it's like we're seeing those kind of plays out there right now.
Absolutely. I mean it's up and down, up and down, up and down.
Yeah.
Credit to the 2 running backs. We said you were going to see a show out of 2 great running backs here tonight, and it is as advertised, right?
No doubt.
The question is, somebody's going to have to come up with an answer. But going back to that long running play right there by Badon, St. Martin's didn't help themselves. You bring 7 like that in a blitz, you better make sure you pop something. Credit Pearl River's offensive line, walling everything off to the inside. They run the toss outside. He bounces it, and he's gone. And like I said, you can't tackle him with your arms if you're coming downhill from the secondary.
So another kickoff coming now. They'll try to just pop this one over the front line, and a nice job by, that was Wakefield. Okay, going back and feeling that little squibber just to make sure it didn't go uncovered, and St. Martin's will start with good field position, but again, they find a way to keep the ball on the kickoff out of the hands of number 25, and St. Martin's will begin at the 44-yard line.
It's a logical strategy. I mean, let's don't put it in his hands any more than you have to, right? I guarantee Kevin Dicer was putting some juice into his offensive line every time they come off the field. He is over there right in their ear, those guys that aren't playing 2 ways, getting them motivated to have to do the job.
Berry on first down, not much doing that time. Fell forward for about 2.
Yeah, Dakota Johnson again for the tackle. They're having a hard time handling that guy tonight. He's a junior. He's 6'2", 230 pounds.
That's a lot to deal with.
Yes, it is.
2nd and 8. Turning and looking at the sidelines here. Getting the play he wants, and now giving it to Berry, who's going to bounce it left. Can he get to the edge? No, he's going to turn, try to go back the other way. And guess who wrapped him up once again? Dakota Johnson, but there's a flag down in the backfield. So hold everything here. Would have been a gain of 3. Let's see what the flag is about. Oh, this might be a personal foul against, you see what happened there behind the play. Let's see who this is on. I believe this might be against Pearl River. That it is.
That would be the second personal foul tonight.
Yeah, that was Peyton Penton, 91. And it looked like he might have, he got engaged with one of the offensive linemen there. And
they continued to stay engaged.
Yes. So 15 yards on the penalty after the 2-yard gain. It's 1st and 10 now at the 37. Screen pass set up. Berry down the sidelines, but not much doing there. It was to the short side, and he only got 2.
Throwing in the short side of the field, which I like. A great idea, especially if you have your defenders playing more to the field. They have more on one side, less on the other side. Go to the short side of the field. But it just didn't get the blocking he needed out there on the flank. Nice job out there by number 4, Cameron Thibodeau, coming up from his corner position to kind of turn that thing into the oncoming pursuit.
We'll get to run this play here, I believe. Are they going to stop it right now? No, they're going to stop it now at 6:01. You know, one of the things about the hydration breaks is everywhere you go, every association has a different interpretation. I've been told, you know, for a lot of years, it's basically like the 2-minute warning. When it gets to 6 minutes, it's going to stop no matter what the situation is.
Yeah.
Obviously, if there's a play in progress, then it's going to come. But here, the clock was stopped at 6:01, and they stop it at 6:01.
Right.
So
well,
we've seen other associations where
right.
if there's a drive underway, they
Bingo.
didn't want to interrupt the drive. We've seen it not come till 2 minutes left in the quarter because they didn't want to interrupt the drive.
A good officiating crew is not going to interrupt your drive. A good officiating crew is not going to break the momentum of the game. A good officiating crew is going to make sure that the next time that they get the opportunity to be able to call the timeout, they'll do that, but they're not going to do it right in the middle of a drive that you're having some success on. Again, it goes to interpretation of all crews and the way they're going to handle that particular 6-minute break out there. Sometimes they're told that by their assignment secretaries, too, also.
Yeah, a
so
lot of
it
times
goes
it
to
is.
the association.
Right. 2nd down and 8, the ball at the 35-yard line. Play action, and the quarterback will keep it off the left side with room to run. Out past the 20, out near the 15-yard line. And Ashton Oliver has been really kind of beat up here in the first half. Showed you some explosiveness right there, Wade.
Look like, remember Earl Campbell, who used to get up limping and drag back to the huddle and kind of lean over and look like he's hurt? I'll tell you what, Ashton Oliver didn't look hurt right there. He takes it off the keep to the weak side of the field, the short side of the field where they had the numbers, and he has a nice pop to pick up first down.
Oliver at 42 yards rushing on 7 carries. Berry now with 101 rushing on 10 carries and a touchdown, including that 51-yarder a little bit earlier. Berry tries to cut it that time, loses check that, a Riverside player, a Pearl River player lost his helmet, and Berry slips down trying to cut there. You get another look here, Wade. Just tried to plant. And
here, it's penetration by Dakota Johnson. He gets his helmet ripped off right there, but he's playing in the backfield, right? He's taking the white jersey and he's putting it in the backfield, runs the offensive lineman right into the jet sweep. At the same time, their hands get engaged and rips the helmet off. He's going to have to come off for a play. But, again, credit Dakota Johnson for making that play right there.
Well, that's actually a loss of 3 is going to move Berry back under 100 yards for the night, now 98 yards. He got it right back here, and then some. 10-5 touchdown, St. Martin's. Harlem Berry from 19 yards out. And he helps up the defender he just plowed over.
Nice guy. Well, let's say this. They do a nice job execution up front. We'll see it again on our replay. Nice job by the offensive line from St. Martin. They executed the counter right there. There's a kick. There's the seal. Look at the hole. Everything's walled off backside. All he does is go north and south, run over a defender in the end zone, and then helps him up.
And a nice wide receiver block downfield as well, yeah.
Very nice. But you saw the offensive line right there execute.
It's an extra point away from making this 20-17. And the kick is good. So with 4:43 remaining here in the first half, we have now had 31 points scored here in the second quarter.
I'll tell you what, we're seeing 2 outstanding running backs. Man, is this fun, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
Opening night.
A lot more to come every week here in Crescent City Sports. Stay with us. We'll have more high school football for you next Friday night. We'll be making that announcement early next week, so check our website for that. Wade will be joined by Ken Berthelot next Friday night. Good to have Kenny B back in the booth next week.
It's always good to have Kenny B back.
Coming up at halftime once again, Renee Nato visited with Harlem Berry earlier this week. We'll have that chat. And we'll get you up to date on scores all around the area. Of course, there's no better place to get your scores than on the All-State Sugar Bowl scoreboard at CrescentCitySports.com.
some good football games last night for a Thursday night. A lot of teams electing now to play on Thursday night because of the shortage of officials around all areas in the state of Louisiana. So what they do is they elect to play on a Thursday night rather than their prescribed Friday night. That way they can get a crew to those games, right? So had some good football last night around the area on Thursday night.
By the way, if you missed it earlier today, the doubleheader that was scheduled to be played at the Shrine on Airline this is a pooch kick that is going to be caught at the 45-yard line. Make it the 46 actually, and that's where they'll begin this drive. But in case you missed it, they were scheduled to be a doubleheader tonight at the Shrine on Airline. Obviously, a grass surface, and trying to play a lot of games out there this year. That was a wise move, and kudos to the LSED for stepping up and allowing the Superdome to be available for it to be moved to.
Playing two teams from out of town.
Yeah, exactly.
So they didn't want to cancel that. They want to make sure they get the games in. And as you said, kudos to that organization.
Right, yeah. Rabun Gap from North Carolina beat John Curtis in the first game tonight, 27-12. That is an outstanding team that came in from North Carolina.
Yeah, saw them earlier in the year on an ESPN production back on, I think it
was a couple of weeks
Labor
ago.
Day, Labor Day weekend,
maybe
where they had a lot of prep games
that.
on. Right, yeah. And I was impressed. I looked in on those guys because I knew they were coming down here to play John Curtis, and I was very impressed with that football team. You know, a lot of other states are on week 2 or week 3 of their schedules, whereas we are now on week 1.
And another first down run is continuing just to churn up yardage right here is Tashad Badon, as he will get to the 40 this time, the gain of 7 on each of those 2 runs. And we've got an injured Saint at the 40-yard line. So Berry has 117 yards on 12 carries. Badon has 145 yards on 15 carries thus far.
Fun, right?
And we still have 4 minutes before halftime.
Well, I'll tell you what, Badon runs in between the tackles as good as many people that I've seen, right? I mean, he lets things develop. They get the kick-out blocks, the seals. They love to run the counters and the powers inside the tackles, and he runs north and south. John Lambert has always ran that as long as he's been an offensive coordinator, as long as I've known him. He likes to run in between the tackles. He's like to develop the running game inside the tackles as then the play-action passes and things that come off of it, right? So, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to, a few areas. Number one, the offensive line of Pearl River doing a nice job there, but Badon runs so hard downhill, and that's kind of his trademark.
So the injured Saint is Gabe Savarese, the sophomore linebacker. He was the top returning tackler from a year ago.
I don't want to lose that guy. He needs to get back out there as quickly as possible. He's a key cog in that St. Martin defense.
They'll run the little end around the end, kind of that inside handoff. That's an old wing T play, I think. Wade, it's used to see that there. They had him lined up as a wing back, and the inside handoff with the man coming in motion that time is a nice looking run there by Jenkins to get 9 yards.
It's also single wing play. So what is old is new, and what is new is old, right? I mean, what goes around comes around. However you want to do it. You want to do it out of a gun. You want to do it underneath center. You want to hand it off on the counter coming back around. It's all the same stuff.
Jenkins now with 74 yards on the ground, and this is Badon once again, and room to run, 20, 15, 10. He's tripped up inside the 10-yard line. A touchdown-saving tackle right there by the cornerback, Tyler Penny.
What's crazy is he is doing this against 8- and 9-man fronts, right? That time St. Martin had 8 men up front. They brought the safety down into the box, and they're blocking it. The ones that they aren't blocking, he's running through them or putting a move on them, and then he's busting into that third level into the secondary, and these guys are trying to tackle him with their arms. Can't do it. He's mad because he got tripped up right there. He was pounding the ball on the ground.
It's now 170 yards rushing for Badon. He'll add on here 6 more for 6 points. Touchdown, Pearl River. So it's a 26-17 game with the point after coming. It's just starting to look like an arena football game.
Well, these guys are, these running backs are going to need IVs at halftime, right? I mean, you're talking about dehydration. 6-minute break. At the 6-minute break, a little sip of water isn't going to be enough. They're going to have to put an IV in their arm at halftime. Here comes a 2-point conversion.
They're going to go for 2 here. Play action, and the pass is caught for 2 points. That was the tight end, Andrew Neal, on the 2-point catch.
Counter boot. Andrew Neal wide open on his drag. Presents a perfect target to Hutchinson, and he just drops a dime on him right there for the 2-point conversion. My question is, why go for 2? You just...
Well, I think you see him struggling with the kicking game
exactly.
a bit. And so, they try it, and,
right.
It's...
Correct.
And they're just trying... At this point, you're really just trying to keep up.
Correct. Well, I mean, that's the only answer I had, is that they're having some issues with their with the operation in their kicking game. So when you got the weapons like, Badon and Hutchinson and the big tight end right there that presented a nice target, you go for 2. Well, 2:42 left in the half, right?
That's an eternity.
That's an eternity when you got Harlan Barham, right? So Harlan Berry, and Badon could get into that end zone a couple more times each.
So Berry is the deepest of the deep, standing at the 10-yard line. He won't see the football unless it's somehow lateral to him. Or check that. That's not him back there. That's the quarterback back there. And he's got room to run up the middle, so they did kick it straight ahead, because I just assumed it was Berry back there. It was actually Ashton Oliver who takes it in at about the 10 and returns to the 32-yard line.
I don't know if I would have kicked it to him. Because he's explosive also.
It's almost, you got to go find where he is out there. They had Berry lined up on the outside, the far side that time, instead of in the middle, hoping they might kick it that way like they did one other time.
Yeah, it's a guessing game, right? You know what you do, I did that all the time. I stood out there and looked at the guy we didn't want to kick it to, and then I'd send the message in to the nearest guy on my kickoff team, and they'd relay it down. And
yeah. You call the kickoff that way, yeah.
Exactly. That's how we did a lot of times, because it's a guessing game. They're going to move people around trying to guess where you're going to kick the football.
So at the 32 now, Oliver will run to the left here on first down, and he's got nowhere to go. Well defended that time by Pearl River.
Great pursuit by the guys in red. Look at the guys in red get off of blocks here.
We got an injured player. Is that, I don't know if that's Oliver again, but down in some pain on the far side. That is Oliver. That's the third time he's been down tonight.
He came up and took a shot by somebody in the secondary. Didn't get the number. The inside-out pursuit just really came out of nowhere to get to the football and gang tackle. Great defense. Edge gets set, pursuit inside out. Result is a loss.
See if we can get another look at that one to see what might have happened on that play.
So here comes the safety. That wasn't the corner.
He might
have
just he might have just
Right.
Did he get the wind knocked out of him? You hope that's all it is, because he just got a helmet in the chest.
It looked like Dawson Drew coming up from his safety position and really putting a shot on. He was the guy that came downhill in the alley from his safety position to set the edge right there and really put a lick on Oliver. Again, great defense. That's the way you play cover 4. You get your safety involved coming downhill from the alley. The way you got to control that offensively is you got to try to throw some sort of post route behind him or vertical route behind him to take advantage of his aggressiveness as he's coming downhill.
No doubt. So as they continue to work on Oliver on the far side, we'll see exactly how St. Martin's manages this. There's been times that they've lined up Harlem Berry and Wildcat. That's certainly not out of the question. You look at their roster. Donnie Lawrence, who's a junior, is also listed as a quarterback. So is Bryce Hellwig, a sophomore. So they've got a couple of other quarterbacks listed. Do they go with one of those guys, or do you just direct snap the football to number 25 and let him go do his thing?
The first thing they got to do is they got to try to get out of this half, right, with 2:17 and assess his injury. Maybe they can get him back around, get it rubbed out and straight, and get him back for the second half. So here we go. We'll see who's coming in right now.
And
number 10.
Or is that 6? I think 16 maybe back there, but they see.
Number 16,
that's
correct.
16. That's Hellwig.
That's Hellwig. Good athlete.
5'11", 155-pound sophomore. We'll hand it off to Berry, who doesn't have much going there. He got 2, and it's going to be 3rd down and long for the Saints.
A lot of red jerseys around that tackle.
Well, you got to figure, too, if you're in a red jersey when the other team has just had its starting quarterback go out of the game, you've got to think, okay, 25's getting the football here. All eyes on him.
No doubt. And that's exactly what Gage Durant did that time. Came downhill and stuck Berry, as well with a number of other red jerseys.
Hellwig trying to set up the screen, and it is well defended right there. Batting it down was Gage Durant, the linebacker. Last year led this team with 57 tackles, 5 for loss, and a big-time play right there, Wade. You see him get his hands up.
Yeah, delay blitz right there. He was just kind of picking his way through. When I say delay blitz, what they teach the linebacker to do is you just don't shoot a gap as fast as you can when the ball's snapped. You pick your way through. It might be A gap, might be B gap, might be C gap. That's exactly what he did. He came through the C gap, got his paw up in the air when the ball came out, knocked it away. Nice play by Durant.
So now Helmke is on the punt. And good kick there, but it takes a Pearl River bounce and will come back all the way almost to midfield that time. So Pearl River with 1:04 to play here in the first half will take over at the 49-yard line, looking to perhaps add on to this 28-17 lead. First punt of the night for either team.
I was going to say, we haven't seen many punts. And if I'm not mistaken, Pearl River has 2 timeouts left?
Yeah. Two for Pearl River, 1 for St. Martin's.
This is a decade in the annals of offense right here. So a lot of time left on the clock to try to stick another one in for Pearl River.
From the 49. He'll look to throw the football. Now he's going to put it down and run. Hutchison to the edge, has a running lane, and he's dragged out of bounds, but not after he gains about 19 yards.
All right, young quarterback's going to have to learn how to have a little bit more patience with that. Great job by the offensive line, bought him time. He took one look at the receiver and just booked out of there. I know he had somebody else to go to, He needed to sit there a little bit, let the thing open up and throw the football. He'll learn how to do that.
So Hutchison now with 35 yards on the ground. Gives it away on first down. And Badon gets it to about the 26-yard line. As the clock you see on your screen will tick. It's time is called. 42 seconds left in the half.
Yeah, last year's tackle leader for the Saints made that one again. That's Savarese. Nice job coming from his inside linebacker position to get out there. Now, he did not arm tackle. He put his pads on Badon that time and got him to the ground.
So Badon in the first half, 18 carries, 185 yards.
They're getting the IV ready right now.
Barry
yards.
Barry in the first half, nothing to sneeze at, 13 carries, 119 yards.
Yeah, they get one ready for him too. Yeah. Right, so, I mean, we knew coming into this thing tonight, we talked about it in the pregame, we were going to see two of the premier running backs in the area, and they haven't disappointed.
So we resume here, 2nd down and 4, the ball at the 26-yard line. Stay with us again at halftime. Renee Nadeau will visit with Harlan Berry. We'll catch you up on scores from around the area. Remind you to also check out the Allstate Sugar Bowl scoreboard at CrescentCitySports.com for all of the latest scores around the state. Badon, first down. That will get him to about the 20-yard line. They will stop the clock to move the chains. And the difference here tonight, Wade, is like those runs are maybe 2 yards for Berry, and they're 6 yards for Badon. Ball came out. Let's see who came up with it. St. Martin says they've got the football, and I believe they do. That was Will Adrians, the outside linebacker, coming away with the ball, and a big takeaway for the Saints just before halftime.
He's got that thing high and tight, and it looked like he got a helmet put on it, and that helmet looks like it came from Daniel Fink, big defensive lineman. Came down the line, put his helmet on the ball, and it popped loose. That's a drive killer. Now, 22 seconds isn't anything for Mr. Berry either, right? He gets loose.
Anything's
he gets
possible,
loose.
yep.
Right? He can go yard in a flash, so.
So at the 17-yard line, and you got a timeout to play with as well. And
looks like at quarterback,
I think
Hellwig again, isn't it?
No, I think that might be.
Oh, no.
That is Oliver back in
Oliver's
there.
Back. Yeah, he just rubbed it out.
Yeah, and now here's the thing. Because you can do so many things with Berry, they've got him lined up wide to the right here.
Well, they got safety help across the top also.
Right.
The cover 4 look. Somebody's going to have to be on the number 2 receiver.
And he's got Berry is wide open down the sideline. Pass is caught. 40, 35, 30, 25-yard line. Berry just ran by the defender, and there's a flag at the end of the play, probably for either a horse collar or a face mask.
I think it's going to most likely be a horse collar. Look, you play a too-high deep secondary. That safety's got to come over the top of the vertical right there. The number 2 receiver went to the post. He's got to hand that thing off, and he's got to get also across the top to help that corner against Berry. There's only one place they were going with that ball, and they were doing that with 25.
The ball at the 25-yard line, and then we will add on some yardage to the end of this, put it down half the distance to the goal line, put it down at the 12.
You know, the other thing you got to do is you got to realize the speed of Berry, and you got to give him a little cushion, right? You got to be able to flop those hips around and run with him as a corner if you have to.
So 11 seconds left. Berry in motion. Quarterback throws, pass is knocked away. That was intended for Noah Dunn that time, and a nice defensive play. I believe that might have been, was that Pichon who dropped back in coverage 33?
It looked like Pichon that was back there. Noah Dunn was open for a second.
Oh, check that. No, it was number 4. It was Cameron Thibodeau. I'm sorry.
Cameron
I saw
Thibodeau.
Pichon at the end of the play there, backtracking. Thibodeau had 2 interceptions a year ago. The 6'2", 160-pound senior gets a hand on it. Well, not going to take any more chances here with 5 seconds left. Now we're going to get the field goal unit on to make this a one-score game. And remember, St. Martin's gets the football to start the second half. So Helmke from 29 yards out.
Dunn had a chance on that
ball. Whistle before this one can get underway. And I believe St. Martin's is calling timeout, something they didn't like. St. Martin's had 1 timeout remaining. They will use it here. It was a 60-yard catch and run, by the way, by Berry.
Don't ice your own guy here, Coach. Right?
Yeah, it was something he obviously didn't like there.
Right.
All right, so Berry now, if we're looking at yards here, Berry in the first half, 119 on the ground, 62 receiving. Badon's gotten all of his on the ground. It's 193, so it's about a wash there. And obviously Pearl River is going to go into halftime with a lead. Is it going to be 28-17 or is it going to be 28-20?
The wise thing is to take the 3 points here.
You make it a one-score. You make it a one-score
Correct.
game, and you come out and you've got the football to start the third quarter. I mean, that's the thing about that is, you look at this end sequence here of this second quarter. You had your quarterback injured. You had to punt it away. Pearl River had a chance to get on the board again before halftime, and instead you get a fumble. You pop a big play to Berry, and now you've got a chance to steal 3 right before the break and make this a one-possession game once again. Kick on the way is wide left.
Yep. Hooked it off the tee.
Yep, just did not get it going in the right direction, and we've got an injured Saint at the 10-yard line. One of the offensive linemen is down. Of course, all of these linemen play both ways, so.
Right, it's tough, man. Yeah. You just can't lose these guys in week 1, right?
In reality, the half should be over right now, I think, because normally 5 seconds run off the clock on a kick. They only took 1 second off the clock right there.
Yep. You're absolutely correct. I would be asking that in a kind, gentle way.
And I think they're telling them wind the clock right now. We're gonna end the half right here because it should have ended. That's exactly what it is. So, yeah, we've now reached halftime while they continue to work on the injured St. Martin player. Your halftime score in what has been a very entertaining first half. It is Pearl River 28, St. Martin 17, as the two teams combined to score 39 points in the second quarter. Well, obviously, we have talked a lot tonight about Harlan Berry. He is, as advertised, the senior who has committed to LSU, is the number 1 ranked running back in America. He's the number 1 ranked prospect in all of the state of Louisiana. Has put up some amazing numbers, and he's a guy who does it in a number of different sports. He has led this basketball team to a trip to the state finals. He has excelled in track. He has played offense, defense, and special teams for this St. Martin's football team. Earlier this week, Renee Nadeau, our Crescent City sports recruiting analyst, had a chance to sit down with Harlem, who is a
We're here with the number 1 running back prospect in 2025, St. Martin's, Harlan Berry. Harlem, LSU right now. Why the Tigers?
I picked them, honestly. I just felt that I'd be the best there. I felt that I was more comfortable going up there, be close to my family. And then I just trusted Coach Frank that he'll get me to where I need to get at. So,
I know it's a tough process for you. What other schools did you really consider?
I considered Texas, Oklahoma, USC, and Florida. Those are my top right there.
Are there some areas going through your senior year this year that you'd like to work on?
Definitely improve on blocking, especially like pass blocking. and just trying to stay between the tackles running downhill. I think I could get better at that, especially with those big linemen I'm going to have next year. So just trying to read the hole right and burst out of it.
Are you kind of hoping that you'll get some opportunities as a true freshman?
Yes, sir. Definitely. I'm going up there in the spring, so hopefully I get be able to play, know the plays and get ready. So, yeah.
Harlan, was there a player that you grew up watching that you kind of modeled your style after?
I guess you could say I grew up watching Leonard, but I didn't really model my style after him. I like to watch Barry Sanders once I got a little bit older and started learning football, so I watched him and like Reggie Bush, and that was my three right there.
There's a guy that you remind me so much of, and I know he's old school, Tony Dorsett. So that's old school. That goes back a ways, but you remind me a lot of him. What is your favorite player when it's called in a huddle? You kind of get excited. What's your favorite play?
We just added his Big 20. I think it's like Ram. I get to run out there and be a receiver and go run a route. So yeah, that's my favorite right there.
How far can the St. Martin's team go this year? What makes you feel good that this could be a special year for you guys?
Obviously, we want to head to the Dome. So I think that this team, despite all the other teams, we have more discipline within each other, and we're more together. So I feel like as a team, we could build around that and build around each other, and we have the opportunity.
Going to college, Harlan, what would you like to accomplish during your career in college football?
Obviously, win a national championship and win the Heisman, especially for running backs. I don't know when was the last time a running back has won the Heisman, but try to bring it back.
And this season, you're doing a lot of different things, and they're using a lot of different roles. It's interesting. You're getting to do a lot of things this year, aren't you?
Yeah, yes, sir. I'm playing defense, playing special teams, and I'm obviously playing offense. But I like it. I like being on the field any chance I could get, so it's fun for me.
What do you like most about special teams and defense? I know everybody knows how well you do on offense, but special teams and defense, what do you like about it?
Special teams, I wish they don't really kick me the ball, but I mean, when they do, I just like having all the space to just maneuver and do what I do best. And on defense, being a running back and being on the offensive side, I feel like it complements my defensive skills because I could read and react faster than a lot of people. So yeah.
This is going to be a tough schedule, a tough district for you guys, and 2024 is really going to be look. You can't look past this week. Every game's going to be tough.
Yeah, honestly, we have some tough games, but if we just play as a team, we play how we're supposed to play, how we've been practicing, how we've been working throughout this summer. I think we'll be good.
Well, Harlan, congratulations, continued success, and much success this year and beyond.
So an interesting conversation with Renee Nato and Harlan Berry, and you get a look here, Wade, at the top recruits in Louisiana, and this is the interesting thing to me on this. Louisiana's produced its share of running backs over the years, but you've got 4 in the top 10 right now. That's a great group right there. Berry, of course, along with J.T. Lindsey from Alexandria, committed to LSU. James Simon from Calvary Baptist is committed to Texas. Jasper Parker, who's at Archbishop Shaw, has committed to Michigan, along with his Shaw teammate, who's also in the top 10 there, Jacob Washington. So you've got a group there, and we got a chance to see Keelan Moses in our final broadcast of the year last year at U High. He's still committed to LSU along with Francis. So you've got LSU is certainly going to get their share, and this is obviously a strong group. And to see Berry at the top of that list, and Berry, in terms of 247 composite, he's the only 5-star in Louisiana. The rest of those are 4-stars. Right. He's the only 5-star prospect in the state right now, and he's showing, as you were seeing. Sometimes it's hard to it's hard to measure when you're playing at a smaller school exactly what he can do. But look, I think you're seeing certainly. Speed travels, right? It doesn't matter whether you're playing 1A or 5A football, speed travels. And when he gets in the open field, he's not getting caught from behind.
Well, number one, it doesn't matter. You're playing single A football, 5A football. They're going to find you if you play. Number two, they've been tracking him ever since he was a freshman for the past 4 years. I spoke about it earlier tonight from the standpoint of watching how he has grown over those 4 years. 4 years ago, would you said that he's going to be a 5-star recruit? No. You said, we're going to keep our eye on this guy. This guy shows a lot of promise. He's going to be a player down the line, and we'll see how that thing develops. Gets into his junior year, has that great season his junior year. He has learned to be able to run inside and outside. All of a sudden, all the recruiters from all the colleges are all in on him. He's going to develop those 5 stars, right?
No doubt.
So he's grown into this, and he has developed. And that's what I said. It's been fun for us from the standpoint of being able to cover his games for the past couple of years, watching how he has grown into the running back that he is today. And, LSU's got an ideology about running backs, right? They'll have a running back room with 8, 9 players that are on scholarship. And they definitely need them right now. They just lost one this week in practice.
And how about the move that they made in the middle? And look, that's a guy that we saw a couple of years ago in
covered him 2 or 3 times
in the state championships. Correct. Of course, Jawan Johnson from Lafayette Christian, and so you and I both thought he was a guy. I don't know that he was a quarterback, but he was definitely a guy that needed the ball in his hands. He had great ball skills.
So you got to get him on the field somewhere. I don't care if it's catching punts or doing something. Right. You got to get him on the field. And this is, I've been a coach from where we have lost 2 or 3 running backs a year, right? And you're sitting there in your coaches' meetings, and you're starting to look at your roster and saying, guys, we need a running back from somewhere. So you're starting to rob Peter to pay Paul, and LSU, all they've got to do is look over there on that side of the defense and find a great athlete. Boom, there it is. That was when I heard about it this week, that was the smartest thing that they could have done, and bringing him over, getting him ready. Now, how many touches he gets this week against Nichols, we don't know, but they're going to get him ready for down the line. You can't go into the SEC with just 3 scholarship running backs.
No question about it. So we'll see.
And that's
I'll be curious to see that tomorrow. A lot of interesting football tomorrow with LSU against Nichols, with Tulane against Kansas State at 11 a.m. over at Yeoman Stadium. Hopefully the weather cooperates for both of those games.
And then the last thing I'm going to say on it, this is where Harlan Berry gets sold on signing at an LSU. Hey, come here. We're going to have 5, 6, 7, or 8 scholarship running backs in our room, and you know what? You're going to get carries, even as a freshman.
You will get carries, no question about it. 28-17 Pearl River here at the half. Let's take a look at some very intriguing halftime stats, Wade, because we've seen some outstanding performances here thus far. And you look at the numbers here. Look at the rushing numbers. Pearl River with 302 yards rushing to St. Martin's 157. A lot of that 62 passing yards came on that long pass there at the end of the half by the Saints. The total yards, we've had 542 total yards accounted for in this game. And, of course, Pearl River with the 1 turnover there right before the half, giving St. Martin's that opportunity. What jumps off the page when you see those numbers? I guess that 302 kind of stands out. You don't normally see that kind of number put up in the first half, do you?
That's credit to the offensive line. I said earlier, and I might have made a point about it about midway through the second half, that Pearl River's offensive line, as well as their defensive line, they're both controlling the line of scrimmage, right? So you combine that with a guy like Bedon that runs downhill in between the tackles the way he does, you're going to put up that type of number. And like I said, those guys right now are giving Bedon an IV in that locker room to get him ready for the second half, because we're going to see more of him. But to that credit, we're going to see more of the great Harlan Berry in the second half for St. Martin's also.
Let's take a look at some scores, Wade. We mentioned that doubleheader that's going on at the Caesars Superdome, move from the Shrine on Airline. Rabun Gap from North Carolina defeating John Curtis Christian 27-12. That's a talented team there. Another out-of-state team coming in, Jesuit of Dallas playing Jesuit of New Orleans. That game at Tad Gormley, it's 28-20, Jesuit of Dallas in the fourth quarter. Pope John Paul sneaking over into Mississippi to play St. Patrick, leading 14-0 second quarter. A final from earlier today. How about Young Audiences Charter? That's a new program on the West Bank, beating West St. John 21-14. So kudos to Young Audiences Charter. Now they are a 3A school playing against a 1A school, but still that's a good win for them. Third quarter, Newman leading St. Charles Catholic 17-3. Of course, they've been district rivals. St. Charles moving up to 4A this year, so they're playing week 1, and certainly intriguing that performance thus far by Nelson Stewart's team.
I just ran across one that you might be interested in. Edie White 20, Holy Cross 0.
That's in the third quarter.
Down in Thibodaux.
Down in Thibodaux. Northlake Christian leading Archbishop Hannon 21-7 at the half. That's over in Covington. Riverside Academy. That's a team that's got a chance to contend for a state championship, no doubt about it. They got to the Dome a year ago, trailing at Class 5A Terrebonne second quarter, 20-7.
And Dakar 27, Archbishop Shaw 14 at halftime. That's a good football game.
That's a good football game there. How about Mandeville taking it? They're just down the road from us, playing at Salmon, 42-0 over Salmon in the third quarter. That Mandeville team is going to be outstanding this year, and of course they've got that running back once again back with them. We saw him a couple of years ago, and he's been a beast ever since. At halftime, St. James on the road leading East St. John 20-0. That's an impressive showing thus far.
Halftime, Destrehan 14, Catholic of Baton Rouge 8.
Wow.
Good to see Marcus Scott back on the sidelines, healthy and rolling.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. A couple other games on the North Shore tonight. Lakeshore leading Fontainebleau at the half 20-6. Covington leading Bogalusa 27-6, both of those at halftime. Hammond on the road leading at Denham Springs 14-7 at the break. Also at halftime, East Jefferson leading Livonia 14-0. Second quarter of that second game in the Dome. How about the Rummel Raiders off to a good start against Lafayette Christian, 13-0. Good start there. At halftime, Brother Martin leading East Ascension, 14-6. That one going on up in Gonzales. And there have been some other games around the state that have had to be shuffled around for a variety of reasons in terms of kickoff times, game dates, a lot of things going on in terms of when those games can be played. So, some games getting pushed all the way to Sunday, and obviously this weather is causing havoc. And look, we're fortunate here where we sit in Pearl River tonight. We're on artificial turf. Everybody's not that fortunate to have turf as they have throughout St. Tammany Parish. We got it a lot in the New Orleans area, but if you've got grass, okay, you're trying, if you can, not to play because your field's going to be torn up for the rest of the year if you play on it now.
Coming, all those years taking care of a grass field, you're right. I would slave and toil and slave all off season to get my field just right and perfect, and then all of a sudden you get a downpour on that Friday night of week 1, and it's gone, right? So what you going to do? You go get turf.
And again, that was a commitment they made to the St. Tammany Parish school system a couple of years ago. It took a little while as you tried to get all of these facilities with turf on them.
Right.
That was certainly a challenge. Because you didn't.
Right.
You're running the weather, and now Pearl River does not. Okay, but some of these are combination football and track facilities, so they had to wait for track season to be over so they could start working on them.
Well, that and the thing that I loved about turf so much is I never missed a practice. Just waited till the lightning got out of the way, and then you could just get out there and practice on the turf, and no matter how wet or whatever you had as far as the rain was concerned. Lightning, obviously we were off, but I never missed practices. You couldn't always get out on a grass practice field or that sort of thing if it was storming and you're going to just not get anything done.
Well, the new technology now tells us we got to wait if it's too hot in August. You got to get that bulb temperature out there, and that certainly is a factor as well. You got teams that have to stay and wait. Maybe they can't get on the practice field until 8 o'clock at night until the temperature gets down a little bit.
Let's credit our high school football coaches in the state of Louisiana, right? And I love all that bulb technology and all of that stuff. That's outstanding stuff. High school football coaches understand how to condition their players all summer long to get ready for that August heat, right? And there isn't a high school football coach that I know that is going to put their kids in harm's way with the heat.
No, of course not.
In that type of situation. So they will practice later. They might practice earlier in the morning before school starts, get them in. Some schools have athletic PEs their first hour of the day, and they'll go ahead and get their practice stuff done in the morning. Talking to Eric Collins tonight, this summer they practiced when August started. They rolled around. They went at 6 o'clock in the evening until school started. There are still some schools where they're in school during August when school started. They still practiced at 6 o'clock in the evening. So there were all different means and ways of doing things. But you got to credit those high school football coaches. They're going to take care of their players, and they know the situation.
No question about it. I know Nelson Stewart at Newman went to 6 a.m. practices.
Right.
Getting things done early, and they'll do some things after school, but their kids aren't there as late, obviously, if they can get their meetings done once school is over. So,
and all of that also takes a cooperation when they are in school, a cooperation from your administration and your faculty, understanding how important co-curricular sports are to these student athletes. So somehow they might have to adjust a schedule for the health of their players, as well as what they have to do to get their work done.
Let's look at some first half highlights before we get the second half started. How about this run by Harlan Berry for the first touchdown of the night, 51 yards.
Great cutback right there, takes it into the end zone for one of his scores tonight.
And then not to be outdone.
Not to be outdone.
Sean Jenkins popped one here, as you'll see, 55 yards for a touchdown, as they had both backs in the backfield, and Jenkins just broke out of some arm tackles there and just outran the defense, a stiff arm for 55 yards and a score.
We said Jenkins is an outstanding football player on both sides of the ball, and he shows it right there.
And then you get Berry one more time from 19 yards. Got a nice block downfield, found a hole up the middle to take it to the house. 2 touchdowns for Berry here in the first half, along with a 60-yard reception. So he has accounted for 181 yards in the first half.
Well, like I said, and this thing isn't over, right? We're 2 outstanding running backs, and this thing is going to be, I think, down to the wire with these guys toting that ball.
All right, so St. Martin's will receive, as we mentioned, to begin the third quarter. Berry is in the middle this time. And this kick is going over the head of one of the deep men and will go into the end zone for a touchback. So St. Martin's will begin at the 20-yard line. So Pearl Rivers had a lot of opportunities to do different things on kickoffs, and there's another one right there.
Well, keep it out of Barry's hands. Don't put it in his hands when you don't have to, right? So they kick it to the other side of the field, and he gets a hold of it, and it ends up in the end zone.
So the Saints have the ball at the 20-yard line. 2 minutes football.
So they will begin here at the 20.
First down.
At quarterback, Oliver got a little dinged up in the first half. Came back right at the end of the half through the huge pass, and he's back in the backfield.
He'll keep it on first down. Got the left edge. Got 10 and more. Make it 15 yards out to the 35-yard line.
Again, off the quarterback keep.
Yeah, you see all the attention on the play fake to Berry. Everybody's eyes directed to 25.
Well, it's going to be the way it is all year long, and defensive coordinators are going to make sure they're going to have something there for Berry. You're going to have to make sure you account backside off the zone read for a great athlete in Oliver.
So 1st and 10, ball at the 35-yard line. Pass. He'll let it fly deep. Got a man, and incomplete, just out of the reach of his intended receiver. That was
Cade
Vinju, the
correct,
sophomore.
running behind the secondary. Again, everybody bites up. Nobody across the top. Guy in a white jersey running behind your secondary, that's got to get addressed.
Well, it's one of those things, again, when you've got Berry on the field, so many eyes going that way that if somebody does take off long, you got a chance to do that.
Well, you got to have eye discipline.
Berry gets stuffed up right there. Give him 2 on 2nd and 8.
Getting back to that thought again, in the secondary, you got to have what is called eye discipline. Your eyes have to read your keys, be disciplined on what you're reading, on what your coaches are teaching you to read as your keys, and then making sure that you execute your read. Eye discipline. And in the secondary, when you got a guy running behind you like that, like we just saw, and we've seen a couple times tonight, your eyes can't be too disciplined because you're biting up on something. You want to go get 25 now.
So a big 3rd down play on this opening drive of the second half for St. Martin's. 3rd and 8. Got to get it to the 45-yard line. Quarterback will throw it out in the flat. Incomplete. It was intended for his fullback, Savarese, and it's going to be 4th down.
Yeah, they're trying to slip Savarese out into the flat on the boot. Watch him right here. Keep working. Great job by that Pearl River defender. Couldn't see his number. That it was either Ricole that was there trying to tie him up. Couldn't get the number of the Rebel that was there trying to make that play, but forced a quick throw. Savarese couldn't get his hands under the ball.
So St. Martin's will send out the punting unit. Second time tonight we'll see Helmke punt. Bounce the snap, and not a very good kick. And got a little bit of a roll, but it still goes out at the 46-yard line. It's just going to be a 9-yard punt. And Pearl River will take over.
Great field position.
On the plus side of the 50.
Yeah. Here comes Badon.
He will line up. He'll line up 7 yards deep as a single setback. There's 3 receivers bunched to the top there. But Badon's getting the football. And a good tackle that time by Noah Dunn to hold Badon to a gain of 1.
Oh, we got a Saint down.
And that's not the
42.
Is it 42 or is that 4 again?
That looks like 42. The guy that just made the tackle, which is
that's Carter Furman. It's 42.
The young linebacker.
All I could see was the 4 right there.
Right, and we didn't know if it was
first thought is or if it was the quarterback who also plays free safety, Ashton Oliver again. But again, it's one. Look, you see this a lot in week 1. It's with the cramping, and it's very, very humid. And one of these things too, when you get a situation like this, it's not as hot, but it's very, very humid. And sometimes you don't account for that. So and now he'll walk off. So.
Right, and then the other thing is these guys are getting a lot of two-way playing. Right?
Yep, they're taking a
lot of reps on those legs.
Yeah.
So he's up. He's got his toe pointing up.
Right.
They're going to take him off.
Yeah,
get some hydration in him.
We've had some interesting conversations over the years with coaches about how do you manage two-way play. A lot of these smaller schools where you're going to play guys both ways, and everybody's got a little bit different strategy about how you play, about how you practice it.
Right.
Which
exactly.
It's. I found that interesting. Like, we practice offense on Monday and defense on Tuesday, and offense on Wednesday and defense on Thursday or something.
Right.
Then they've deviated from that. So it's a lot of interesting concepts and how to go about dealing with that. On 2nd and 9. That Mack truck that just drove through that hole there was once again Tashad Badon. He gets a gain of 5.
He's bringing the hammer with him. Back to your thought on that and how do you manage all that? It's I've been in that situation before. I always had people counting reps on those guys that were playing both ways, right? We were trying to get guys only a certain number of reps each day in practice on both sides of the ball. So, it depends on how things work best in your program and what you're comfortable with.
3rd and 4, and there was movement up front. I haven't seen a flag. The guy moved, and the offensive lineman reached out and touched him, but yet no flag happened. I don't. That's.
You break the neutral zone, they should be blowing the.
And that delay of game is called. Something should have been called there.
Yes.
Regardless, it should have been either offside or false start because we'll get another look here. Hopefully, you see the defensive lineman move, and then the offensive lineman reaches out and he didn't touch him, but he reached out and pointed at him.
He was in the neutral zone. It
Right.
should have been stopped immediately. Remember, we talked about that earlier in the game. The
And
minute
now
in high school
time
football, the minute you break that line of scrimmage, they're going to blow the ball, the play dead. Right? It's a federation thing, and they kind of missed that one.
All right, so we had a delay of game. Now we're getting a timeout call for Pearl River. I don't know if that came before the delay of game and they have not moved the football. They're still standing at the 40-yard line. While we have a moment, Wade, let's welcome in a new sponsor to tonight's coverage of Crescent City Sports, brought to you by Game On Social Hub at 2421 Veterans in Kenner, with a full-service restaurant, arcade games, bowling, axe throwing, and laser tag. Game On has it all. They're open till midnight tonight, also on Saturday nights, and on Monday nights from 6 to 7. Join Ken Trahan and special guests for live football conversation on 106.1 The Ticket, leading right up to the Monday night game. And we got another whistle and laundry. This is going to be a false start.
Yeah, by number 30 down here, started a little bit too quick. The receiver for Pearl River decided to jump a little too soon. You know, you talk about that axe throwing.
No, I know.
That is fun.
Yeah, I know. You and Leah need to make it out to one of those Monday night shows. You'll enjoy the conversation. The food is good. Everything is. It's a lot of fun.
She might throw some axes in.
Oh, that's. They got to stay in the area where the axes are.
Is there a spot where wives don't go around the axes? Is that a? Oh, we got flags all over the place again.
This is, I don't know if the pass was completed down there, but I can tell you that this is almost certainly an illegal forward pass coming up.
Illegal forward pass or lineman downfield?
Or could be both. Let's see.
74.
It is an illegal forward pass, and it is a loss of down.
There you go. One of the few in the Federation rules where you have a loss of down.
So this was 3rd and 9. The line was the 45. He had already, I think the pass might have been complete, but they were right on top of it there. So they will mark it 5 yards from the spot. Have they walked it off yet here? Let's see. They have not enforced the penalty just yet. Now they're going to. This is, I believe, Wade, supposed to be enforced from the spot of the foul. It's like if you run past the line of scrimmage. And they'd already moved the sticks back
You can't
on this.
move the sticks.
Not the down marker. I'm sorry, the sticks didn't move. No. So now, okay, they are walking.
So
that's right. Now they're walking it from the 43 to the 48. So they've got it. They've got it right. Okay.
It's where he releases the ball past the line of scrimmage. That becomes your spot foul. 5 yards loss of down in Federation rules.
Right. So
it brings up 4th down.
So it'll be 4th down and 12 now. The ball at the 48-yard line, and Pearl River could be going for this. It looks like they will. Now the quarterback's going to put it down and go. Try to get to the edge. Cannot get out of the grasp of Harlem Berry, who makes the 4th down stop. And St. Martin's will take over on downs.
Harlem Berry gets up a little gimpy. A little gimpy on his right ankle.
Yeah, I see what you're saying there. I think he stepped on the foot of the quarterback, Hutchison, as he was trying to bring him down.
Right. Yeah, I bet you if you talk to Harlem, and I'm sure Renee talked to him about it off camera, how much do you like playing defense? I bet you he said he loves it, right?
A lot of those guys. I mean,
Right.
you remember having conversations with Leonard Fournette about that.
Fournette loved it.
I think, there were some that had the school of thought that if Leonard Fournette was playing linebacker, he would have been the number 1 ranked linebacker in the country.
Well, no doubt about it. And I, especially senior year, when we played him twice that year, one time in the playoffs, he was playing some free safety in that playoff game. And look, he covered some ground, right? Just a good
Quarterback
all-around football player.
Quarterback will keep it on first down, and he'll get 2.
So little quarterback power right there. They get the kick out, the seal around the back, and he's trying to get up inside. Nice job by the Pearl River defensive lineman. Defensive line bottling that up real fast.
To your point of what you saw on the 4th down play, Berry is not on the field right now.
Right. He had a little gimp coming off and looked like on his right ankle.
That was a big 4th down stop. You hope it's not a costly 4th down stop. Quarterback will try to keep it again here, and I don't think he made it back to the line of scrimmage that time.
Yeah, you got Noah Dunn in there at the halfback position, who is also a two-way player.
And now we'll see Berry once again here on 3rd and 9 at midfield. As you start to probably, I think this is 4-down territory right here.
3rd down, might be time for that. Well, the Rebels on the stands right here, ladies and gentlemen. Let us know you're here tonight.
The clock ticks towards 7 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter. Had the throwback set up, and it's well designed, and this is going to be a 1st down. What a well-designed play right there, Wade, as the little half roll and then the throwback to Dunn, and he gets 10 on 3rd and 9, the 1st down. Take another look.
Yeah, nicely done, and they slip a couple offensive linemen out in front of it. The ball's thrown behind the line of scrimmage, so it becomes a screen. Linemen can be downfield. Very well executed to pick up 1st down. They used Harlem Berry that time as kind of a decoy as he lined up as a wide receiver in a bunch formation, and he runs a post route, and he took two or three red jerseys with him.
Half the team went downfield, right?
Exactly.
So Oliver looking to throw again. Now he'll put it down and go, and he will get 5 on 1st down. So that's 2 plays in a row that Berry has not touched the football since coming back into the game. Oliver now with 59 yards on the ground.
Yeah, he's definitely a formidable danger for defense, right? You got to account for the guy. Making a nice play that time coming from his defensive line position to make that tackle. Peyton Pinton, big guy, a big junior, comes from inside out to run him down.
Oliver. Ball hit the ground, and they're going to call it an incomplete pass intended for Berry.
Looked like Gage Duran came on the blitz and knocks the ball out of the hand. Let's see if that is a fumble or a forward pass. There's Duran, locks it out.
Oh, that's close.
That is real close. Couldn't see very well from the behind angle that we have.
That was not. That's a fumble.
So it's 3rd and 5 at the 35-yard line.
I think everybody in red up here thinks that it was a fumble.
And we're going to have a sideline warning against Pearl River. And we are also at the under 6-minute hydration break at this point as well.
And Eric Collins is out there asking for an explanation on how that would not be a fumble.
And now they say, look, we'll have this conversation. We're going to have it with you standing on the sideline, not at the numbers.
Yeah. I'll keep my mouth shut.
Yeah, look, we'll get another look at it here. It's one of those. Look, this is very close right here. His arm was out, but I think the ball got knocked backwards as he was trying to come through. It's not there's certain situations where no matter what, if the ball goes forward, but your arm wasn't coming forward. Yeah. That's a situation where it appeared the ball got knocked backwards, even though they saw the arm coming forward, and that's why they went incomplete pass.
Well, to me, it's inconclusive. I just can't tell. You can see Durant coming down with his arm, hacking the arm, ball coming out, and from that angle of the camera, it's just a tough one to see. Mm-hmm. Those guys on that side, you got to think that they're making the right call from their vision that they see it. And rightly so, Eric Collins needs to go out there and question that, and he needs to question that hard, and he needs to put his influence in on how he felt about it.
All right, so 3rd down and 5 as we get set to resume after the hydration break. Ball at the 35-yard line. Got to get it right to that next white stripe at the 30.
Here comes a blitz.
Whistles first. And timeout Pearl River. I believe that's the second one now that they've used here in the second half, so they just have one remaining. So both teams will.
I don't know if it's still lingering on from the fumble or if it's some sort of other issue. White Hat's coming over to have a conference. He's still talking about the fumble.
It's week 1 for everybody, right? Yeah, you get scrimmages and jamborees, but it's week 1 for everybody.
Week 1 for everybody, but you still got to be a little you got to be intense on that a little bit, and Eric Collins is being a little intense on it. I just don't know if it's, you call the extra timeout on that. I don't know if that's what he was trying to or what he really would wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
I understand.
You want to waste the timeout in a tight ball
certainly.
Game like
I mean, if this thing is close late and you don't have that timeout in your pocket, that's something that could certainly come back to bite you. Right now, it's a 2-score game in Pearl River's favor, although St. Martin's certainly in position,
right,
with perhaps another first down to get themselves in field goal range.
Correct.
And of course, every time number 25 is in the backfield, he's in touchdown range.
No doubt. Anywhere on this field, right? I mean, he can go yard at any time. Here we go. Now we're playing ball.
So here we go. 3rd down and 5 after extended break there.
Goes blitz.
Quarterback's going to keep it and nowhere to go up the middle. Thought he had a hole for a minute, and it closed up in a big hurry, and it's a loss of 1. It'll be 4th and 6.
Blitz right into Phillip Huth. Looked like Phillip Huth was right there. You can see he had picked the right gap, runs right into Barry right there.
And Peyton Penton just grabbed him and pulled him back.
Sometimes when you live by the blitz, you're going to die by the blitz. We've seen that earlier tonight, but sometimes you get it right, and if your gap's sound and you're in the right place at the right time, everybody doing their job, those type of plays happen, or these type.
And they get home and sack the quarterback. Did the ball come out? No, he's down by forward progress. They're going to say he's down back at the 48-yard line. It's a big sack on 4th down, and Pearl River's going to take over on downs. Credit the sack combined there to Gage Durand and also Dakota Johnson, who has been all over this football field tonight.
Well, I tell you what, they brought the blitz with Gage Durand. He's the first to get there, but Dakota Johnson makes another huge play. He kind of got things right. He got that personal foul back in the first quarter. Remember the little shoving contact he had? He got his head back in this football game, and he has been a force to deal with all night long on that defensive line, and St. Martin's can't handle the guy.
No, they'll actually put the football back. They'll have stopped forward progress all the way back. Pearl River with the ball at the 47-yard line. So with 5:07 to play here in the 3rd quarter, just a couple of yards on 1st down.
Doing a nice job if you're holding him to just a couple of yards on 1st down, right?
What kind of adjustments have you seen each of these teams make here in the second half?
St. Martin has gone to more of a bear look, right? They're usually a 3-down line defensive team, but they're taking their outside linebackers and they're putting them up on the line and bunching their 2 defensive ends inside and their nose guard on the center, trying to create some sort of gap responsibility there. And the next thing they're doing, they're bringing their safeties down in the box a lot harder.
This time they give it away. 1st down and more. Jenkins on the carry that time will get it out to about the 40, make it the 41-yard line. It looks like a gain of 10 on the play. Yep, they move it back to the 42, a gain of 9.
You can see Harlan Berry right there playing free safety. He was almost down inside the box at 10 yards, right? Number 8 is going to make you do that from Pearl River. Try to get more people down inside that box.
That formation that we've seen a little bit of tonight when they put the 2 backs on either side of the quarterback in the shotgun has really been effective. Because now you got 3 people to have to try to figure out where they are going.
Well, Pearl River is doing this against an 8-9-man box, right? And that's what's impressive with their running game. So I can't harp enough on how good of a job that offensive line is doing up front. You can't block all of them with 5 offensive linemen or a tight end or an H-back or whatever you have. You're going to leave somebody undone. And in a lot of cases, they're leaving 2 people undone, and that's the job of the running back to make a miss or to run through those arms, and he's doing that.
Pass is incomplete.
He's going to have to get coached up on that. He overruns the boot, right? He's got to let the guard do the right job on the kick-out block on the counter boot right there. He's got to pull up inside of that and step up inside that natural pocket right there. If he sees big numbers, step up. If he sees little numbers, continue to get out onto the edge. He's a young quarterback. He's going to learn how to do that, and that's something that's going to come with age and reps.
So now 3rd down and 7. The ball at the 39 of St. Martin's. By the way, Baton over 200 yards for the night. 24 carries for 204 yards this evening. And a nice job by St. Martin's to try to handle up what looked like it was going to be a tunnel screen right there, Wade. And they just blew this play up that was headed for Jenkins.
Yeah, well, that's not their bread and butter. All right, look, good football player in Jenkins out there, but that's not their bread and butter. Their bread and butter is to get that ball into 8's hands. That's what they needed to do right there. They're going to put them in a 4th down situation where they might have won a goal for it on 4th down.
They're going to punt for the first time tonight.
Exactly.
Let the clock run down as much as they can here. And
looks like we got a...
May even take the delay of game penalty.
Yeah.
They do. You know you're going to punt the football. You might as well use everything you can here.
Well, first punt of the night. And I didn't see much warm-up with the punter during pregame because of the rain, right? And... he's got one heck of a leg, and that's why he backed up. Mm-hmm. So we'll find out right here.
And we'll go rugby style here. Good kick. It's going to roll and be downed inside the 5-yard line.
Hey, great decision to take that delay of game.
Gave him some room to work with that,
Gave him some
right?
room to work on that rugby. Very nicely done. Great job coaching right there. Ball hits the ground and rolls right down inside the 5-yard line. Great coverage by the guys in red.
Is that a flag on this side at the 19-yard line or just no, I don't think so. Okay, I saw you could see it right there. It's like a piece of a towel or a shoestring or something that's just there at right by the 20-yard line on the near side. St. Martin's will play from the 5-yard line here. They're still huddled up on their side. You have to wonder here how Harlan Berry is. He did not touch the football on that last series. Wasn't in for the first couple of plays, then came back in, but still never touched the football. Let's see.
Right. Played defense last series.
Yes, he was still in there on defense. So let's see what happens here if they try to get Berry back engaged, if he is indeed feeling a little bit better. Only carried the ball one time here in the second half. Pass downfield is incomplete, and it was intended for Berry, and we've got flags everywhere here. as it looked like he took a shot in the face mask from a shoulder here at the end of the play. Watch the end of the play here, Wade.
Well, okay. This is where this is coming from. Last year, new rules went in Federation to kind of mirror everything that's going on with the NCAA and the NFL now, right? With the unprotected receiver coming down the field and somebody going through the upper half of their body.
Right, it's a defenseless receiver type of thing. Yeah.
And he made contact with the upper half of his body from his numbers up to the crown of the helmet with his shoulder and shoulder pad. Unintentional, but still a penalty. So the days of going through a defender going through a receiver downfield even after he misses the ball or it's overthrown, those days are over, right? You just can't do it. You just can't light somebody up like that anymore. He was a defenseless receiver, ball overthrown, contact made in the upper part of the body. That's going to be a 15-yard personal foul penalty.
It's all about injury prevention.
That's what it's about, and the Federation is following the lead of all the other leagues that are playing the game today.
Pass down the middle, in and out of the hands of Helmke. He went up for that one, nearly brought it in, only had one hand on it, couldn't get both on it.
Reached his right hand out. I thought he was going to bring it in with his
he was
right
calling.
hand.
He was calling for it. He knew he was wide open and just out of the reach, it looks like. So it's 2nd and 10.
You know, on that note there, this year with the Federation, not many rule changes. Mostly everything was points of emphasis. The big rule change is about the jerseys of your home team, right? You can't have any contrasting colors. You've got to have a dark and a white on the home team number. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out as we go down throughout the year. We know how many times sometimes we see the wrong – it's hard to check out numbers, right? So – hopefully we can get away from that.
Fake to give to Berry. Pass is caught. It'll be a first down. Out to about the 31-yard line, and that is Vinju on the catch.
Yeah, Vinju has been targeted a couple times tonight. I think that's his second time tonight that he has been targeted. But I thought that was interesting because that was coming down the pipeline, and I think they were giving everybody a few years to
implement them because you don't buy new uniforms every year.
Correct. So hopefully this is going to be you've got to be able to see the number. That's the whole deal.
Quarterback trying to stay alive and stay on his feet, and is going to be dropped behind the line for a loss of 3.
Big Andrew Barrow had him dead to rights in the backfield. 6 foot, 285-pound freshman. Right, he's just a po' boy away from 300. So, you know, that big guy moving and chugging and hugging like that just had him, almost brought him down in the backfield for the big loss, made him reverse field, and he finally got nabbed on the other side of the field.
So 2nd down, 13, ball at the 28-yard line. This may be the final snap of the third quarter. Pass in and out of the hands of Berry, incomplete. It was high, but he went up and nearly hauled it in.
Yeah, good coverage that time by the secondary. That was number 11, Charles Ricole, right there on that play to knock that thing away. All of a sudden, St. Martin has come out and decided to put that ball in the air. It's kind of like they flipped the page on their playbook, right?
Spreading things out. And again, we go back to that play that 4th down play where Berry stepped on the foot of the quarterback. And that's the first time Berry has touched the football.
Just didn't seem like he had a lot of pop right there. Did you notice how he might have tiptoed into that hole? We'll see it on the run back. Lenny, you look at him and watch how he hits the hole right there. It looked like he was a little tentative coming in that hole, and that's, like I agree, getting back to what you said, is his foot bothering him a little bit. See
Yeah, now there wasn't, look, there was a lot of penetration there. There wasn't much room to run.
Right.
Obviously, something isn't 100% right there, but at the same time, it's, no. He got the football in his hands. There, at least there is that, which is only the second time in the second half that he has touched the football. We have reached the end of the third quarter. Your score, Pearl River 28, St. Martin 17. You're watching high school football from Crescent City Sports. All right, so here we go. Start of the fourth quarter, and fourth and long here. St. Martin certainly has to punt the football away. Helmke will hit a good one here, and checked up like one of Wade's 9-irons right there at the 35-yard line.
I was waiting for that one.
So was it?
It was. There you go. Tell you what, nice job by the punter right there, getting a hold of that snap that was kind of low and down to the right, correct? And he got it out of there, and credit the punter being athletic. Helmke doing that.
Now, the one thing you want to do, and that's, look, they were backed up at the 5-yard line, and even with, circumstances they're dealing with here, St. Martin's gets a couple of first downs. That's the thing you, as coaches, you always talk about coming out when you're backed up. You just want to get out of the shadow of your goalpost, try to,
correct,
flip the field a little bit here.
Correct.
They'll take over at the 35-yard line. Ball is out, and that is recovered by St. Martin's after the fumble on the run, that time by Badon, and the Saints are going to have terrific field position coming up here.
I got a helmet on it right there. Let's see if we can get the number. Was that number 40?
It's 40, I believe. It was Savarese.
Yeah, got his helmet on the ball. Ball pops out before he got down to the ground, and ball pops out. That's something he's going to have to work on, is his ball possession and control skills as he moves forward throughout the rest of the season. That's 2 times he's put the ball on the ground tonight. He was off to the races, too. Nice hole by the offensive line again. He's popped it into the secondary. Savarese comes out of nowhere and pops him by putting his helmet and face mask right on the ball, and the ball was out. Big break for St. Martin.
Yeah, big opportunity now as you get the ball on the plus side of the 50 at the 48-yard line.
Question is, can they get Harlan Berry going again?
They've got to find a way
to get him rolling.
Yeah, get him going here. Now we get the ready for play. Give it away to Berry on first down. A lot of red shirts sitting there in the box, and he'll get about 1.5 yards there.
There's big Andrew Barrow again on that tackle. He's a freshman. Hey, big man. Big dude. That's the second big play he's made tonight that we've seen him in on. Boy, he falls on top of you, he's going to hurt you.
They're getting some the Pearl River front seven is getting some penetration against this St. Martin's offensive line in particular here in the second half. And look, you got a lot of linemen playing both ways on a very warm, humid night. I got to admit, we talked about some of the other cramps that we've seen in different places, but the wear and tear there has got to be a factor as well. Pass in the flat, Berry caught. Still on his feet, 35-30, 25-20, 15-10, 5, touchdown Harlan Berry, 47 yards, but hold everything. I think there's a flag back at the 40-yard line.
Boy, Harlan Berry does a nice job. Soft hands out there. Yes, there is a flag out there. Boy, he catches that ball and he's shot out of a cannon.
You would imagine.
That's what LSU likes too.
Yeah,
They like the way he catches the ball out in the open field.
We'll wait for the signal before we take another look here. What happened, but you would imagine, based on what we're seeing here, I don't know. Hang on here.
A lot of penalty flags thrown tonight, Lennon.
Yeah.
A lot of them. This guy's going to have to ice down after the game.
Personal foul, face mask against the defense. So now okay, so this is going to be a touchdown. Nobody signaled touchdown, which is unusual. I mean, it's so 47 yards on the catch and run for Berry. Now, are they going to take the penalty here and go for 2 right now? You could, if you take it here, now you can put the ball half the distance to goal. It's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to put the ball at the 1.5 yard line and go for 2 to try to make this a 3-point game with 10:50 to play. It's a good strategy, I think.
Yeah. You know who should be getting the ball right here.
I got a pretty good idea. And look, that's something we haven't seen much of here. They got 2 up backs. Now they're going to line Berry up in the slot right here. And this is a quarterback keeper all the way. And Berry was just a decoy right there. And great job by the Pearl River defense to stack that up right there and not allow the 2-point conversion. But it's still a 1-score game now, Wade, with 10:50 to play. Your new score, Pearl River 28, St. Martin's 23.
Smart thing to go for 2. Take the penalty right there. As you said, smart thing. Didn't like the play. But, I'm not making that call. Oliver gets up limpy again, walking over to the sideline. You got 2-8 back there in the backfield. You got to put it in his hands one more time.
I guess they're trying, it's especially if he is a little – I don't want to say banged up, but if he's obviously dealing with something there,
right.
This has almost become like a pitch count situation. You're trying not to just wear him out here in week 1. You got a long way to go this season. Berry tonight, 122 rushing yards, 109 receiving yards.
Oh, you see, that's what the scouts like about him.
Yep.
Right?
He can get the ball in the flat. And look, you saw that last play. If we could take maybe one more, I don't know if we've still got that last touchdown run now. Okay, but that's an extended handoff right there. You're getting him out. If they're going to stack the box, you're getting him already to the outside.
Right. And getting the ball in his hands some way, and he's going to make something happen with it. And you talk to the scouts, that's what they like about the guy. He's versatile. He can be a slot receiver, right? He can be an H or a halfback, right?
Sure.
I mean, he can be
There's so many things he can do
offensively.
Let's see how Helmke kicks this one off. It's a little pooch kick trying to find a dead spot in the area, and it's going out of bounds. So they're going to put it at the 35-yard line now. He was trying to pop it over that front line and into the hole, and have somebody run down and perhaps cover it.
Is his leg tired and he can't kick it into the end zone anymore?
I think it's one of those things. He could do that, okay? But obviously he's had some.
Or are they trying to work on their pooch kicks?
The other option, they're trying to find a way. They're finding a way to steal a possession right now too. If you could get, just like you tried the onside kick earlier, you try to find a way to steal a possession.
I'm being facetious, right? Put the thing in the end zone. Let your defense play with 80 behind your back.
No doubt. No doubt. All right, so Pearl River at the 35. Big hole right side. Bat on. Room to run. 40, 35, 30, and he's dragged down by Berry after a gain of 35 yards.
He's impressive. The things we got to find out.
But hold everything.
Oh, my, they're bringing that back.
Hold everything. There's a flag at the 37-yard line.
He's got to pack that ball away right there as he's going down to the ground. Harlan Berry does a great job right there saving everything for the Saints. They're bringing that back.
The red-clad fans on the near side don't like it. But we've seen that happen on both sides tonight.
Well,
plenty of times we think we've seen a big play happen and it's come back. So they will put the football down at the 25-yard line, so it's no play. It's a 10-yard penalty. 1st and 20 at the 25 with 10:38 to play. Give it away again to Badon. Not much doing there.
He missed it. Missed his hole right there. Should have bounced it to. Should have followed the seal blocker right there. Would have led him right into the hole, and he would have popped that thing again. He pounded it too far to the backside. He was looking for the backside cut right there. He tried to stay in the backside cut, but it wasn't there. He didn't see it.
2nd down and 18. Playing the 27-yard line. This clock ticks under 10 minutes, as you see there at the bottom of your screen. Big hole this time. And into the secondary and into St. Martin's territory, and still on his feet, Sean Jenkins is gone for a touchdown. There are no flags.
Sean Jenkins saw it. Still had the kick out in the curl. They just ran a little bit different with the fullback that time. Nicely done. That's Sean Jenkins. Did I say also that he's a pretty darn good player on defense? Look at him run away right here. Bad angle by the secondary from St. Martin's. Nice cutback right there, and the rest is pay dirt.
73 yards for Jenkins. We mentioned Badon is over 200 yards rushing. Jenkins now has 156 yards on just 8 carries. Those two have combined for 375 rushing yards tonight. So 34-23, Pearl River's going to line up and go for 2 to make it perhaps a 13-point game. Snap's bad. They're just going to have to fall on the football.
Yeah, Hutchison pulled out a little too soon right there, puts the ball on the ground. He was trying to hand that thing off before he had a grip on a wet football.
Right. So this has been interesting. Like the first quarter, we had 6 points on the board for Pearl River, right? Correct. And that was it. Then the second quarter, it's like a pinball machine out here. We went to half at 28-17. We had 39 points scored in the second quarter.
Right.
No one scored in the third quarter, and now here in the first 2:21 of the fourth quarter, we've already had 2 touchdowns, both on big plays.
It's not an exact science, Lenny.
No, it's not.
I told that to a physics teacher once, and he didn't like it. It's not an exact science, right? But that's why I got a D in physics.
I guess so.
But the point being is the ball's going to take different bounces and go different ways. I mean, Harlan Berry a little nicked up with the foot. We know he has a little foot problem. We don't know what's going on there. Couple field position issues with Pearl River in the third quarter, right? A couple of fumbles. But I'll tell you right there, Jenkins got him right.
That's a terrific 1-2 punch they've got in the backfield.
He's a terrific football player, bottom line.
Trying to onside kick and nicely handled right there on the one hop by Cooper Wakefield, who takes it in at the 47-yard line. They were just kind of looking for a spot there to try to punch one through. Some updates from around the state, some of those key games. Destrehan leading Catholic 20-15 in the third quarter.
Wow.
Down in the river parishes.
Wow.
Brother Martin leads East Ascension 23-14 fourth quarter in Gonzales. Halftime at the Dome, Rummel leads Lafayette Christian 13-7.
On Rebel Raiders. There you go.
Third quarter, Carr 35, Shaw 14.
Wow. Great football game.
Hank Tierney's got a good team, but he's
yes,
he's running a gauntlet right now. St. Aug in the Jamboree, Carr in week 1. He's still got to go to St. James and to St. Charles Catholic.
Right. Tough 4A district.
Yeah, no doubt. So 1st and 10, the ball at the 47-yard line. Oliver, nowhere to go. He's just going to have to step out of bounds.
Wow. I tell you what, I am impressed with this freshman. Look at the pressure that Andrew Barrow brings from the backside. This big freshman, watch this guy come right here. Look at this. Look at him chasing this guy down. That is a big man. I've said it already. He's a po' boy away from 300 pounds. And did you see the way he was moving?
Yeah, he did a nice job there. And now it's 2nd and 16. So you're really playing behind the sticks right here.
Somehow they got to get Barry back involved in this thing.
Got to get him engaged. Pass long down the middle is caught. Down to the 26-yard line goes Vinju.
Vinju, third time targeted tonight. And he comes up big on the big pass, splitting the seam, should I say, running the middle of the field. Look at him running right down the middle of the field between the two safeties.
Well, what happens here is, so much attention gets paid to Berry,
right,
that you can send these guys on verticals and try to,
get him the ball.
Try to get him the football. Yeah.
They better get some defenders out there on the right-hand side. They didn't have anybody there.
There's Berry on the carry. He will get about 3 that time. And once again, we called Peyton Penton's name a bunch tonight. The 6', 205-pound junior had 36 tackles a year ago. So quite a few here this evening. 2nd down and 7 at the 23. St. Martin's down 11.
They've got them outnumbered 3-2 at the top. Look at this. They need to do something. Pearl Reaver needs to drop somebody out there and get somebody out there.
Pass down the seam, open, in and out of the hands of Vinju. That's the same play we just saw 2 plays ago, I believe.
And here's what's going on. They have number one, they have a too high secondary, and they're giving them trips to one side of the field. The backside safety's got to cover the third vertical, and he's not getting across the top to cover it. He's getting there late.
So basically, they're just – St. Martin's is outflanking them with formations.
Correct.
Right now.
You're either going to have to, on snap, get somebody over the top of the number 3 receiver if he's going vertically, or you're going to have to line somebody out there in order to cover him if he goes vertically.
Quarterback run on 3rd and 9. Might have gotten about a yard on a play, and that's about it.
St. Martin needs to come right back to that again. I guarantee he will be wide open down the seam again. Here's another. Oh, no, that's not the play.
This is the.
Right, that's the run.
Yeah, that's the run. And I'm wondering, were they setting this up for a field goal right here? They're going to go for it. It looks like they're going to go. Looks like they are going to go for it on 4th and 7, figuring this was 4-down territory. That had to
4-down
certainly
territory. You got man coverage. Here comes blitz. Here comes blitz. There it is.
Wide open, touchdown. Nobody went with Vinju once again, or Vinju, I'm sorry. Cade Vinju, 23 yards. He didn't have a man within 10 yards of him. They run this combo route here, and no one goes with him.
They run the scissors route. They don't switch it off. They're in man coverage, corner standing still. Looks back at the other guy and says, "What, thought he was yours?" No.
And the
other
safety
switched it. The corner didn't.
And the other thing that plays into that, Barry's on that side, who's certainly drawing attention and eyeballs. And
right. Again, you got to have eye discipline. Eye discipline, right? You're in man coverage. If I'm covering number 5, I've got to cover number 5. If 5 goes in, I'm switching them off. If 25 comes out, I'm bouncing on to 25.
So going for 2 here. Whistles before this can get underway, and let's see. We've not had great pace here tonight, and I said it's week 1 for the officials, and I think that's part of it.
Right, a lot of flags.
Yeah, some of it's flags, some of it's okay. What are we doing here?
Yeah, exactly.
How does the coach get to stop the play without?
All right. We'll get a new play clock coming in.
Resetting the play clock. I don't know what stopped the clock there. How the clock stopped. Okay.
So Berry is lined up to the left side of your screen. Now they'll bring him in motion. And receiver coming across, open for the 2-point conversion. That is Penny, and it is a 3-point game with 7:21 to play.
That's the old pick play, right? You're going to run one in, you're going to run somebody, rub off of them. If you're an offensive guy, you're going to call it rub. If you're a defensive guy, you're going to call it pick, right?
And the other thing that happened there, who went in the flat,
and
was Berry and drew the eyes.
Correct.
And then you had somebody else coming across.
You got the rub guy, which is the back out of the backfield, which was 25. And then you had Penny coming across on the slant. Was wide open for the 2-point conversion.
While we have a moment, tonight's coverage on Crescent City Sports brought to you by the Lamarck Motor Company in Kenner. Lamarck Quick Lane services all makes and models, batteries, tires, oil changes, and more. All done quickly while Wade enjoys some popcorn. Must be a reason.
Must be a reason. Every year, the popcorn. There you go.
I did not get any popcorn a couple of weeks ago when I was there, but then again, like when we went there and Ronnie and his crew hosted the 3 tailgaters a couple of Saturdays ago.
Correct.
I went over and got an oil change while I was there.
Man, look at you being industrious.
I'm trying,
industrious.
Trying to,
Tell you what, and and there you go. Your wife thought you were just going to go over there and lounge around and hobgob, right? Talk to everybody. You got that oil change.
Not at all. Got to multitask. Yes.
There you go, multitasking.
This is a little pooch kick here, and they saw it coming. Oh, but the ball's loose, but it's recovered. That was fallen on there by the Rebels. That was Elijah Oglair, the senior DB. Lost it for a minute, but then got it at the 40-yard line.
Again, starting with great field position for number 8, right? I mean, that on, starting at the 40-yard line.
Well, this is look. Here's what we're finding out tonight. We came in and we saw in the first half the 2 running backs really putting on a show, right? Here's what we're finding out now with 7:18 to play. These teams have some other weapons.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no doubt. They have some other weapons, and if you try to take away one guy, they can beat you with some other guys.
They can come with something else, absolutely.
I formation here. When's the last time you saw that in a high school game? And they get off the left side, and that's room to run. As that is 17 more yards for Tashad Badon.
Well, watch him cut back. There's the kick out. There's the seal. His looking backside, he was waiting for that to develop. He kind of stepped a little bit in the backfield and finally cut it back completely to the backside C gap against the grain and shot out into the open.
It's now 235 yards for Badon.
I'm Pearl River here. I am riding him for 6 minutes, right? I am riding this guy.
I believe that was Jenkins on the carry right there.
I'd ride him too. He's a pretty good running back.
Yeah, he is. He's a pretty good receiver. He's a pretty good everything, yeah.
Did I say he's a pretty good football player? Boy, I tell you what. Eric Collins knows a football player when he sees him, and he has it number 5 also.
159 yards rushing for Jenkins. This is a busted play. The quarterback is running for his life and is going to be brought down. The ball's out, and it is recovered by Badon. That might be as big a play as he's made all night there, falling on that football back at his own 47-yard line. St. Martin's nearly had the football on the plus side of the 50 with a chance to take the lead. This is a busted play from the beginning. It probably just needed to fall down right now.
Correct. Try not to add insult to injury there. Just go down on the ground. Let's play another down and do what we got to do.
Savary's forced the fumble.
Savary's a good football player. He was a leading tackler, as we said last year. He's been around the ball everywhere tonight.
Okay, now I'm confused as to why the ball is being marked back at the 49-yard line when it was recovered at their own 47. There was not forward progress stop. There was a fumble on the play.
There's a lot of confusion tonight.
Yeah.
is giving us the confusion, right? Who knows?
When we resume, it's going to be 3rd and 15 after the hydration timeout with 5:57 to play. So this is over 400 yards rushing right now for Pearl River. We showed you at halftime the stats. They had over 300 at halftime. It's 235 for Badon, 159 for Jenkins, and 28 for Hutchison, even with losing 8 yards on that last play.
Right. St. Martin's has got to start going after that football a little bit too.
And you
right,
saw that there. They've been
ripping it out.
Well, you've seen that all. They forced 2 turnovers already, forced a fumble there.
Correct.
So they've done a great job of that. That's some good teaching.
They've got to continue
by that coaching
doing it.
Staff.
This is getting after it like that, trying to put that helmet on that football, trying to get that turnover.
All right, big play in the game here. 3rd down and 15. Toss sweep and not getting it all. Ball is out at the end of the play. St. Martin's thinks they've got the football. No signal yet. No signal yet. They're putting the ball back, and I believe it is St. Martin's ball. Wade, I never saw a point to say it is.
Well, we've missed a lot of signals tonight that haven't been given. Ball gets stripped. Looks like 25.
Yeah, Harlan Berry.
Harlan Berry does it, right? He looks like he rips that thing out. Again, no signal. We've had no touchdown signals. We've had no change of possession signals.
So 5:47 to play, and St. Martin's with the football, down by 3, 34-31. The ball at the 38-yard line.
Number 5!
It's a quarterback keeper on 1st down. And
well, he took off. Yeah,
brought down by Dakota Johnson after maybe no gain on the play. We'll see what the final spot is.
Yeah, he's looking at the verticals. He just takes off. He didn't let that thing develop. He got a little flighty feet. They were running the same 4 vertical formation out of the trips at the top of the field. And again, the third receiver, was vertically open down the center of the field.
Berry on the draw. Not much doing right there as Dakota Johnson just continues to get in the backfield and cause havoc.
Right, calls his name. We have called his name a few times.
And Berry is not getting up right now, Wade. I don't know if this is a cramp. You hope that's all it is.
Look like they're working on the calf cramp. That's a good sign. I mean,
you hope that's hope that's all it is.
Right.
4:55 to play.
Again, playing almost every snap of the game,
yep.
Right? Except for maybe kickoff. I think I'd be in a whole body cramp, right? I mean, if I played that much, these guys are in tremendous condition. But they came back to the 4 verticals again on the play before this, Lenny, and that's what I was saying. They had their shot again. Oliver just didn't stand in there and try to deliver the ball. Again, Vinshu, the 3rd receiver, was vertical down the center of the field. No adjustment in the too high secondary of Pearl River to get over and cover him. They could have gotten the home run right there. They're going to come back to it. They're going to use it again, I'm sure.
Okay, now here's something to think about here. Berry's got to come out of the game. Of course, he was injured. If you call a timeout, can he go back in the game? Because obviously, even with him not at 100%, the decoy, if you will, that he provides is big on this 3rd and 10 right here.
He'd have to call a timeout and be able to put the player back in the game.
They're going to try the throwback screen like that worked earlier, and this is going to get the 1st down. What a terrific call right there. They went back to that little throwback screen to Noah Dunn that worked on that earlier drive when Berry was struggling. In fact, he wasn't even in the game at that point. Well designed and well conceived right there. It is a gain of 13 and a first down.
Yeah, again, Noah Dunn does a nice job just slipping out. They've done a nice job executing this. He sets up the block, slides under the defender, and he slide 2 offensive linemen out in front of him. And at a big time they needed a first down, they got what they needed. Huge play.
Oliver has now thrown for 199 yards tonight. And St. Martin's is going to call timeout here with 4:05 to play.
You know, going back to your question, could they have called timeout to get him back in the game? And I quickly answered it, but yes, they can. They would have had to spin a timeout and to be able to reinsert him back into the game. And
this is like this that Berry's right back in using the timeout here. I guess gives him a little bit more time. So
or just trying to give him a breather because all those guys are going both ways. And
all of these guys, and that's something. Keep in mind, this is the first. St. Martin still has 2 timeouts remaining. But
right.
As you look at the way this is starting to shake out here, Wade, this is your last best chance.
Correct. And so
to tie or to win.
Correct. You know, so wasting the timeout right here, midfield, 49-yard line, plus 49-yard line. Yes, that's, trying to get his kids maybe a little quick breather, little shot of water. And then making sure you're communicating well on what your next play is and what everybody's supposed to be doing, and you got your right personnel on the field, your skilled personnel.
So from the 49 of Pearl River, it will be Oliver and Berry in the backfield, along with an H-back. Berry on the carry, makes one man miss, gets to the outside, 40, 35, 30, and pushed out of bounds. A gain of 23 for Harlem Berry.
Very impressive. Watch him take this back door. One move, again,
one stiff arm,
and runs away. You can't bring him down with your arms.
And by the way, the guy he stiff-armed is Gage Durand, who's 6'2" and 235. Right. He's not some DB out there that he's...
He pushed off Gage Durand like he wasn't there.
So the ball at the 26-yard line now, 3:52 to play.
Look, he's as advertised, right? I mean, he's special. LSU's going to be a great player in this guy.
He has accounted for 257 yards tonight. He's got it again. 20, brought down at the 19-yard line, a gain of 7. And I got to believe right now he's saying, hey, look, I know we've done a lot of other things, some different eye candy out there, showing some different things here in the second half. This is money time. I want the football.
I want the football, and you're also seeing a little bit of resurgence from that offensive line of St. Martin's. I think that timeout was well planned, right? Giving those guys a little bit quick of a breather, and they seem to be coming off the ball the past 2 downs, and they're getting some movement on those big guys in the red jerseys up front.
Berry. Log jam in the middle and nowhere to go, and finally dragged down by Dakota Johnson, and a late flag comes in, and I don't know which way that could be either way. I don't know. There was a lot of jawing after the play, but
well, you're right. That could go either way, but involved in the extracurricular again. Having a great night,
and it could be both ways. You don't know what it is. It could be
both ways, and it could be offsetting, which is what probably it's going to end up being. But you see Dakota Johnson, who's had a great night after he got that personal foul back in the first quarter, or should I say unsportsmanlike back in the first quarter.
Unsportsmanlike both ways.
I think that's the right way to go. Play it again.
Oh. They say second down? Should be third down, right? They should be after the play, although he did not call a dead ball. Are we staying at the original spot and there's no play? The yard marker says second down across the way, and he did not signal dead ball.
So it should be third down.
It should be third down, but again, he did not. Well,
they've caught it down on the sidelines. The Pearl River coaches are now getting on the sideline, Judge.
But again, you could see the down marker at the top of your screen still says second down. Now they finally have changed it to third down.
There it is. Okay, they got it right.
And now they will wind the clock.
A lot of management issues tonight. Signals not given, chains not moved properly, down markers not turned properly. Those are management issues that they've got to work out for week one, right?
We're going to let this run all the way down, perhaps, and take another time out here. I think you're all in on this drive at this point.
You're all in.
And the other thing is this. Keep in mind here, remember, Helmke's a good kicker.
Field goal kicker. That was
so they're not going to get this off here. I think they just beat the play clock. Berry, right side, 10, 5. Flag comes in from behind. I think that might be a horse collar tackle from what I can see. Maybe a face mask. Right there as the tackle was being made, they're waving the sticks down. So apparently it's going to be first and goal. We'll see what the infraction is here. Yeah, they got him by the shirt collar there as they were the collar of the jersey.
It's going to be a horse collar, and you got a Saint down over there. Is that Barry that is down?
I don't know. And he is battling if that's the case. He is continuing to battle. It's going to be first and goal. The play ended at the 5-yard line. We have not assessed a penalty yet, so let's see where they put the football with 2:12 to play.
He's up, and he is limping. Maybe it's the same cramp again. So I think they're going to assess the horse collar.
Mm-hmm. Which should put the ball inside the 3.
It's like on the 1 yard line.
Well, maybe they called 2 different penalties. Did they call a personal foul? Did they call a face mask and a horse collar? It's not a dead ball situation, but they're putting the ball inside.
Looks like they called face mask also. Maybe they called both. And they're taking the face mask penalty. Not a lot of signals. Like I said, not a lot of management problems.
Yeah,
tonight.
exactly. The ball is inside the 2 at about as you see it there, about the 1.5 yard line. The St. Martin's players are huddling up on the sidelines right now. The clock now winding. It's going to go down to under 2 minutes before this play is run. No Berry in the game right now. Oliver's just watching the play clock at this point. He's trying to milk the clock.
I think that's very smart because
that's
you
very
want to
smart.
give the ball back to number 8.
And he's got Penny. Yeah, he's got Penny right behind him in the backfield right now, along with a couple of upbacks. Quarterback run up the middle, touchdown, St. Martin's. And for the first time tonight, with 1:29 to play, St. Martin's has the lead, 37-34.
You know, almost at the point where you're looking at it right there. If you're Pearl River, you go ahead and let them score real quick, so you still have enough time. You can get your ball back into your horse's hands, right?
Could be.
So I'm not saying that's what happened, but those are things that go through your mind when you're sitting up here and you're not down there on the sidelines.
This is a big extra point for Helmke right now.
Decisions.
With 1:29 to play. This would mean that Pearl River would need a touchdown. And it is good. So
well, it's coming
the drive,
down, right?
The drive goes 8 plays, 62 yards, and takes 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Berry on the drive had 5 carries for 44 yards. He did a lot of the damage because you had some penalties in there as well. So it was so he gained 44. on the drive. He now is at 169 yards on 22 carries. You throw in 3 catches for 109. He has accounted for 278 yards on this night, and he is clearly not 100% with the cramps, with the foot or ankle that he aggravated there.
He's a little dinged up.
Yep.
Right? Yeah. And all I can say is as advertised. I mean, this young man is phenomenal. But let's remember, with a minute 29 here, Pearl River has a pretty good one too, and Mr. Badon.
Yeah.
That guy can go yard from anywhere on this field. So can
now I would think
Yeah.
in this situation, don't you want to kick it deep? I mean, you know,
I'd put it in. I would have put it in the end zone all night long.
Right.
I mean, that's just me.
Yeah,
right?
I think it's one of those things where you're just
You know.
trying to steal a possession somewhere along the way.
You know, I'm hitting driver, right?
Right.
Not playing around.
And Helmke just knocked it out of the back of the end zone. There you go.
So I'm sitting here with my hands up, right? You know, why fool around with that stuff? Put the ball on the 20-yard line, make them go 80 yards. What a weapon, right? I mean,
Right. You got 80 yards ahead of you, 89 seconds on the clock.
Right.
Pearl River is playing from behind for the first time tonight.
It's about getting the ball in the hands of the right people for Pearl River now. You've got. It's not about plays. It's about players. Now, what does St. Martin have to do? St. Martin's got to get sound here. They can't get knocked off the offensive line of scrimmage, and they've got to tackle.
Toss it near side on first down. Still on his feet, and they'll say he stayed in bounds. Jenkins on the carry, right to about the 30-yard line. Now timeout Pearl River. I believe it called timeout. Yeah, it was a signal timeout.
Correct.
So
Timeout
a gain of 11.
That's the way you tackle right there. St. Martin's does a nice job coming up with secondary support, and they put a nice lick on Badon right there on the boundary to knock him out of bounds. That's what they have to do with the remaining minute and 13 seconds.
So the ball at the 31, Jenkins actually on the carry. 10 carries for 170 yards for Jenkins. We've got 3 different running backs in this game, Wade, who have gained over 160 yards. If I told you before the night started that Harlan Berry would be the 3rd leading rusher in this game, would you have believed me?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
The difference in this game right now are the 3 turnovers that St. Martin's has forced, the 3 forced fumbles.
Well, turnover is always going to play a part somewhere, and that's usually where it's going to get down to winning and losing a football game.
Hutchison's pass is caught. I think the knee was down. It was. They'll call him down at the 37-yard line, inbounds. It's a gain of 6. It's not a first down, and Pearl River is out of timeout, so they've got to hurry up here.
Call the play, coach.
Changing out some personnel here. Clock is under a minute. You see it. Under 45 seconds. Give it away on second down. Stop short of the line to gain. I think they're saying he was down there. St. Martin's thought he fumbled, but they're saying he's down. But again, no timeouts.
Got to get on the line of scrimmage. You got to make your call. Get your call. Let's go.
And they'll spike the football with 23 seconds to play.
Wasted a lot of time to spike a football. You got to get at the line of scrimmage now and spike that thing.
You got to take it. Yeah, you got to take a snap from center.
Yeah, and you can't
do
take
it out of the
gun.
shotgun.
You got to take it from
All right, so here we go. 4th and 2 at the 39-yard line. This is your ball game right here with 23 seconds to play.
You got to at least get the sticks here. You got to do something.
Well, you got to, and you got to any other. Yeah, you got to do that. You got to get look. Of course, so the game is over because it's 4th and 2.
So you can't think. You can't think score. You got to think sticks.
Pass, caught, first down. at the 44-yard line. That will move.
Move the sticks, get your offensive line on the line now, and have the play ready to go.
Not now that the sticks are set, they should wind the clock. They do. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. Now they're changing formations here. 5. This is going to be the last play of the football game. Throw it long. Pass is broken up and intercepted. They're saying incomplete, but Harlem Berry, appropriately enough, breaks it up, and that is your ball game. Your final score, St. Martin's 38, Pearl River 34. What a whale of a football game to start our high school football coverage on Crescent City Sports this year, Wade.
Well, it's as you said, that's appropriate enough. Harlan Berry, one of the best running backs in the nation, comes up with the game-winning interception at the end to stop that drive, right? But as I said, as advertised, seeing Harlan Berry tonight, one of the best in the nation, he is definitely going to be someone LSU is going to be delighted about getting. But I tell you what, on the other side, Pearl River has some good running backs and some good talent there, especially with Mr. Badon.
No doubt about it. And for that matter, Mr. Jenkins. They can certainly get some things done. This was a fun game to watch. Our thanks to Chip and Matt Merritt. Our thanks to you, Wade. We will have a game again next Friday night. Stay with Crescent City Sports. We'll tell you exactly where we're going to be, but hopefully it's every bit as good as what we just saw this evening. Once again, your final score, St. Martin's 38, Pearl River 34 for our entire Crescent City Sports crew. And for Wade Kaiser, I'm Lenny Van Gilder saying good night from Pearl River, Louisiana.